It's homecoming weekend here in Tucson, and there are high hopes of a major win here at U of A. In fact, you might say these fans are on fire. We welcome you to Tucson, Arizona. We are on the campus of the University of Arizona at Arizona Stadium. It is homecoming night tonight, and the University of Arizona has a large task on hand as they take on the USC Trojans. We welcome you to College Football Saturday, brought to you by Acura, USC, and Arizona. And hello again, everybody. I'm Barry Tompkins. You know, my partner, the P, Petros Papadakis. And Petros, first of all, we got to talk about defense. Both these teams, numbers 1 and 2 in the Pac-10 Conference, but USC unscored upon the last 10 quarters.
Everybody talks about this USC defense for good reason. They have legitimate stars on every single level of the D, and it starts with Brian Cushing, the kid out of New Jersey. He's been starting here, it seems like, forever. He's a Rose Bowl MVP. Then you got Clay Matthews. He's the surprise of the defense. Former walk-on, and he's been harassing quarterbacks all year. And the most reliable guy on this USC D is Kevin Ellison, a solid, strong safety who's been starting also since his freshman year. These guys are all studs, and they are stars, and they will handle this Arizona offense if they can, but it's not going to be easy.
No, it's not going to be easy, and that, of course, begs the next question. What can Arizona do? Well, they're more than a one-act pony.
No, they have everybody on this offense. They have weapons on every level as well. Arizona feels like whenever they hit the field, they can score, and why not? Willie Tuatama has been a mainstay for a long time, the anointed savior of the Mike Stoops era. He throws the ball to Mike Thomas. This guy can catch and run or go vertical. And, of course, the tight end, Rob Gronkowski. He is probably the best in the country. Physical, he can also go vertical. All these guys are very strong. And, of course, the tailback situation at Arizona. Nick Grigsby, the starter, he's a guy that's had some fumbling problems. Keola Antolin came in against Cal last week and only had about 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. They have a lot of guys that can do a lot of things. There's going to be some fireworks here in the desert tonight.
I think so, too, and I think the simple fact is we don't only have one good football team on the field tonight. We've got 2 good football teams. You and I sat and talked with the Arizona players and coaches yesterday, and they had a confidence about them that you really felt was not a false bravado. They really believe that they can go out there and beat USC before a homecoming crowd. And, of course, the USC Trojans, well, they're the USC Trojans, and they have done a great job home and away, except for that little egg they laid in Corvallis. Well, after the break, we'll send you to our College Football Saturday studio in Los Angeles. Of Molly Hartley in theaters this Halloween. And we welcome you back to Arizona Stadium, and here come the hometown Wildcats. It is homecoming night, and number 5 USC comes to Tucson to do battle with the Wildcats. We're at Arizona Stadium. It is, of course, a sellout crowd, and it gives us an opportunity before the opening kickoff to meet the 3rd member of our broadcast team. He is out amongst the maddening crowd with 57,000 of his closest friends. Here's Jim Watson. Waddy.
Barry, here at the University of Arizona, they call the student section the Red Army, and these kids have been here for hours, and they are absolutely losing their minds. Now, normally, these guys are getting geeked up for basketball season, but last week's upset over California has changed all that. Expectations have raised right along with the emotional level here in the Sonoran Desert. Every seat has been sold for a week. Standing room only tickets were cut off yesterday morning. Jim Livengood, the athletic director, he's been here for 10 years. He said he's never seen anything like this. Willie Tuatama, the quarterback, he said, this is what we play for. This is what we waited for. This is our opportunity. Guys, Mike Stoops has been here since 2003. 5 long years and 53 games, and finally, he has a chance to become an overnight success.
All right, thanks, Waddy, and I think that tells you exactly everything you need to know about this game. Mike Stoops obviously feels this is the best team he's had. This is a team that really can do some business. It is a very confident team coming in here against the USC Trojans, the 4th-ranked team in America tonight.
Well, when he said he first got here to us, Barry, he tried to will this team to victory. Him and his brother Mark by himself. They really just tried to will him to victory. They didn't trust anybody else. But now Stoops has a lot of trust in his team, in his coaching staff, and in the players he's recruited. They have a lot of belief and a lot of confidence.
USC won the toss. They deferred. They'll take the ball in the second half. And with that, the opening kickoff. And Wheeler really drives this ball, as he has done this entire season, all the way out the back of the end zone. 9 touchbacks in his kickoffs last week, and he starts this game with another one. So Willie Tuatama will lead his Arizona Wildcats onto the field. They'll start at the 20-yard line. He is a senior. He's an experienced player, but only 2 seniors on this starting offense.
And they're 2 pretty good seniors in Mike Thomas and Willie Tuatama. A lot of kids around campus are calling Willie Tuatama Willie Heisman. I'm not sure if he's there yet, but he certainly knows how to run this offense, and he is a big-time quarterback distributing that ball. He'll just stand behind that line of scrimmage. He is not a threat to run.
They start Chris Gronkowski in motion. Play fake. Tuatama will throw, and throws too tall, intended for Gronkowski. That is Chris Gronkowski with Gronkowski brothers, Rob and Chris. We'll talk more about that. Let's take a look at our lineups. They're presented by Acura, a very effective offensive line for the Arizona Wildcats. We talked about Mike Thomas, and he gets a lot of help from his friends. This time 4 wide receivers in the game as they spread the field from the numbers to the numbers. Grigsby is the running back. And this is Grigsby, a stutter step. Now he gets outside and is dragged down from behind. Great pursuit that time from the backside by Ray Maualuga. Defensively, for the USC Trojans, and Petros talked about the defense, how effective it is. Fila Moala, one of the best around. Ray Maualuga just made that tackle, but look at the linebacking core. They are just tremendous side to side. And you can say the same thing about the secondary. I mean, talk about good players on defense, you get redundant with USC, and that, of course, is a big part of the reason they haven't given up a touchdown or any kind of score in 10 quarters.
We saw it on that last play, the combination of power and speed. Ray Maualuga running down Grigsby on what looked like should have been a first down run.
3rd down and 6 now. Tuatama out of the gun, throws over the middle. That's Gronkowski short of the first down. And Arizona's going to have to give it up. Gronkowski made the catch but had no chance. Taylor Mays wrapped him up.
Well, there's no question that Rob Gronkowski is one of, if not the best tight end in the country. You're going to have a matchup with him between Taylor Mays or Kevin Ellison, the 2 safeties at USC, and both these safeties are really up to the challenge. But I don't know how long you can hold down Rob Gronkowski. This guy is absolutely a beast. But a great opening series by that USC defense, Barry.
Pryor to punt it away, and he will angle this one away from Stephon Johnson. It will bounce at the 25. Johnson picks up the 20, gets a little bit of a gap. Now he's got room. He's the 40, 45, a blocker in front of him. At the 40-yard line, cuts back to the 30, and is finally down at the 25-yard line. A big-time return by Stephon Johnson of 54 yards.
And it started out, he looked like he was basically corralled by the punt team of the Wildcats. But you look at the patience of Stephon Johnson, just took over the return duties a couple weeks ago from Joe McKnight because McKnight had some fumbling problems. He waits and waits. All his blockers pretty much lay out the yellow brick road in front of him, except it's green grass, and the punter, Cryer, ends up making the tackle.
So USC with exactly the start it would have hoped for. At the 25-yard line, Sanchez the quarterback, Gable is the tailback. Bring the tight end Miller in motion. Sanchez steps up, looking for it all, goes to the end zone, too tall, had his man. Turner was open. Pass that Sanchez would like to have back, but there aren't too many of them. You can see he's completed 65% of his passes, 19 touchdowns. 5 of them last week. 2nd and 10. Stack the receivers to the right side this time. And the give is to Gable trying to bounce it outside, and he is surrounded and dropped at the line of scrimmage. Might have even lost the Earl Mitchell, making certain he wasn't going anywhere. Lineups offensively for the USC Trojans, and we of course will see tailback by committee once again, but the offensive line playing as good as it has all year. Damian Williams, arguably their best wide receiver. 3rd down and 10.
This is where the Trojans like to get it to Williams. Here he is. Transfer from Arkansas, very skilled route runner.
Short drop, now a deep drop for Sanchez. Steps up, throws, and incomplete. Too wide and good coverage that time by Hundley. Pass intended for Turner. So the Arizona defense steps up, allows nothing, and USC will be left with a 43-yard field goal try.
Well, there you see, once again, missing his target in Patrick Turner. Mark Sanchez coming out and missing 2 throws early. That time, Turner pretty well covered, and the Trojans are going to try a field goal. We talked a lot about the Arizona offense, but their defense, kind of a no-name defense, stepping up early in the first quarter.
Beeler will try it from 43. Actually, it's a little outside of 43. Hits it. He has the distance, and it is good. So Beeler puts USC on the scoreboard. First, they lead in 3-0, and we're coming back. Quarters, now 10 quarters plus 2.5 minutes. Over the course of that time, they have outscored their opponents 141-0.
They really got a wake-up call after that Oregon State game. And they had Oregon come down into the Coliseum. The Ducks took an early lead running behind Jeremiah Johnson, and they looked pretty good, and SC looked like they were in trouble. And then about 11:01 left in that second quarter. The Trojans have not looked back since then.
And Beeler drives another one. This will not be returned either. That was longer than the first one. And that's 11 touchbacks in a row. What a leg.
Well, this is what Pete Carroll is upset about. First, you have Adrian McCovey. You're going to see him, number 25. Looks like a cone drill, just stepping through the USC field goal team. And then, as he looks to see if the kick is good, he runs into the holder. Also, the punter, Woidnick. Stoops is worried. And then Carroll was very upset, but the refs didn't think that it was enough of a contact play to throw a flag. I think I agree with him there, but McCovey almost getting a piece of that. Really nice athletic play getting there into the USC backfield. Had a great chance to block that.
He did. I think the holder was already on his feet. That's probably why. Here's to Atama, and he throws too tall for Gronkowski, who had a lot of green in front of him.
You know, we talk a lot about how great both these quarterbacks are. Mark Sanchez is the best performing quarterback in the Pac-10, and of course, Willie Tuatama is a great quarterback as well, but a little bit of nerves early. Arizona's got to use that home field advantage. Tuatama has got to connect on these passes early, and they have got to get going early and often here, Barry. USC does not play from behind in the Mark Sanchez quarterbacking era. At least they haven't yet. If Arizona can get a lead here in this place at homecoming, this place will go bananas, and SC could find themselves in trouble.
That was our days in scouting report. Here's a quick toss to Thomas. Thomas is not going to get much. Maybe 3 on the play. Brian Cushing makes sure he wasn't going any further.
Well, the USC defense really wants to win on first down, and conversely, of course, the Wildcats, they need 5 or 6 yards on first down to make things a little bit more manageable. But now they're dealing with about 3rd and 7, and that is a tall order against this USC defense. We've seen the physical players and how fast they are. Grigsby's one of the most explosive guys in all of the Pac-10, and he got a little bit of space, and that space was gone in just a second in the opening series of the ball game. Arizona's got to do better on first down.
Haven't had one yet. It was 3rd down and 7. Blitz comes this time. Tuatama steps up, throws, catch made by Thomas. And Thomas making Dean on the catch. And Dean will get it across the 35 to about the 36-yard line, a gain of 12.
And that's the thing, Barry, about this Arizona team. They have great players like Thomas and Gronkowski, but they have sneaky guys like Dean. This is a guy that's put up some big numbers. He just sits down. He's got one-on-one coverage. Kerry Harris gives him too much of a cushion. And Tuatama with that pass on the money on 3rd and long, that'll give this offense some confidence.
So a first down at the 35-yard line on the pass to Delashon Dean.
Sneaky.
Did a pretty good job of picking the blitz up that time also. Give this time is to Antolin, and he busts it up to the 45. That'll be another first down, a gain of 11. Brian Cushing on the stop. And he's got some quicks, and of course, I'm sure USC in its own mind hearkening back to Jacquizz Rodgers and what he did, a guy that was built pretty much like Antolin.
Here he is, Keola Antolin. Now, it's a different style of offense that Jacquizz Rodgers runs behind at Oregon State, but these guys look the same. If he's 5'8", I'm 6'10".
That's right. Mike Thomas told us he looks down on him, and Mike's 5'8". So a first down at the 46. Play fake this time. Tuitama throws, and again throws too tall for Gronkowski down the seam. And so far, both quarterbacks are missing the mark with some consistency.
But I'll tell you what, Barry, these are still young guys out here on the football field. We're not watching Joe Montana up against Johnny Unitas. These are young guys. Now, they may be great in the future, and they're great college quarterbacks, but they feel this atmosphere. There's no question about it. This place is waiting. It's spinning on the dizzy edge to go wild, and they would have gone wild if he completed that pass to Rob Gronkowski again. Another high pass intended for the tight end.
He was open, and again, with a lot of field in front of him. So maybe just a little bit too jacked up on the part of both quarterbacks. 2nd and 10. Tuitama checking off here. SC shows blitz from the edge. They don't come with it. Antolin gets the call, and he will get about 4 yards to midfield. Right now, let's take it to game break. Here's Michael Eaves. Michael.
Yeah, Barry, USC fans hoping Ohio State can keep winning, but after Terrell Pryor fumble, Cat Devlin punches it in for Penn State, and right now they lead it in the fourth quarter, 10-7. Penn State ranked number 3 in the country. They've not won in Columbus since 1978. Big win there for Penn State.
That was an outstanding game. Real defensive battle there. Haven't won in Columbus since they were part of the Big Ten. And this time that you would think would draw a flag, but it didn't. It looked to me like Kevin Thomas had him all wrapped up before the ball was delivered.
Kevin Thomas looked like his hand a little bit around the waist of Terrell Turner. Here you're going to see it. It's a one-on-one slant situation. That ball's out in a hurry. Tough call. Didn't look super catchable, but could have been that Turner was being held back by Thomas. Again, first down, didn't win, and now Arizona's got a punt.
And Pryor hits this one, an end-over-end kick and a fair catch called by Johnson, and it wasn't easy. He makes the catch right about the 16-yard line, just a 34-yard punt, effective 34 yards. Trojans have it, lead by 3. 16-yard line. Sanchez going to go up on first down, and Turner pulls that one down. He'll be short of the first down, I believe, by about a yard at the short of the 25-yard line. Take a look at how Arizona will come to dance defensively. Earl Mitchell, big-time player at the tackle position for them. And they're saying the same kind of thing about Sterling Lewis, that he has improved in quantum leaps. Secondary, even though there are no marquee names in that secondary, many people feel more effective than a secondary that put 2 players into the NFL last year. Give this time to Stephon Johnson, spins by the first man, will have the first down at about the 27-yard line.
Well, Barry, we already saw C.J. Gable. Now we're looking at Stephon Johnson, of course, already with a spectacular punt return that set up the field goal for USC on their first possession. We'll also see Joe McKnight, who's been battling a toe injury. Alan Bradford, the other tailback that gets a lot of carries, is now out for the season. USC is trying to play all these different guys, and of course they all have a different skill set, but it's very difficult for any of them to get a rhythm in the game because they use them all.
First down at the 27, play fake and a roll to the left, and Williams is open and can't hang on. Had it in his hands, and that might have gone forever.
So you can't lay it out any better than that. USC likes to get Mark Sanchez on the run. They've always liked to move the quarterback in their movement plays. Sanchez has a nice lane to throw that football. Ronnie Palmer chasing Damian Williams. That is not a good matchup for Arizona, and all he's got to do is haul that in. Damian Williams has been sure-handed and spectacular all year for USC. Their best receiver since Steve Smith was catching the ball for the Trojans.
So Sanchez just 1 of 4 for 8 yards early in this game. Second down. Give this time once more to Stephon Johnson. He'll get it across the 30, about the 31-yard line. Pick up a 4. It'll be third down and 6. Well, a first down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Your entire order ships for just $2.95 at Overstock.com at home.
With the O.
You're on tonight.
I feel good. You know, it's the atmosphere. It's got me going, that homecoming atmosphere.
Big game.
I felt like Elvis on the plane out here. Everybody's geeked up.
3rd down 6, a big play here. Sanchez straight back, throws, intercepted, picked off by Marquise Huntley, and Arizona is in business.
Sanchez telegraphs that throw. That's the play this place needed to start screaming and yelling and stamping and getting this atmosphere going. Marquise Huntley, the senior, only 175 pounds, steps right in front of a pretty lazy route run by Turner. Sanchez never looks off the receiver. Lazy route, backing into the route is Turner. Sanchez never looks him off. Huntley's a senior. He knows what to do. Steps in front and snatches it out of the air, and that may be the play that the Cats needed to get going.
Antolin remains the tailback. Cats start at the 33-yard line of USC. And now a timeout has been called. And it was Arizona called the timeout. So we'll have our first timeout of the ball game. 8 minutes and 21 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. And Mike Stoops saying, who called that? We'll take a timeout as well. 8:21 left first quarter, 3-0 USC over Arizona. Quick toss this time to Thomas. Nothing doing. Dean again. It was Dean and not Thomas. And he was cracked immediately. Let's take a look, P, at our Days In scouting report for USC.
Well, they got to be shutout ready, and they're going to be tested right now. Arizona's knocking at the door, even though that was a great play by Kerry Harris to start out. And I really think USC should concentrate on moving the chains as opposed to taking shots offensively. Get that run game going and get those first downs going.
2nd down and 12. Loss of 2 on that pass to Dean. Play fake. Tuitama will throw a screen for Antolin, and he falls down all the way back at the 39-yard line, and he had plenty of room to run. So far this game has really been all about what hasn't happened rather than what has.
Both offenses have had great opportunities to do some great things, and they really just haven't made the throws, or guys have fallen down, but they'll get going.
Here's our U.S. Bank Players of the Week from last week. Yoel Antolin, who just had an unfortunate slip to lose big yardage. He's the Offensive Player of the Week. Greg Laybourne had a big game against USC. Of course, and Corvallis had another big game against Washington last week. And Kai Forbath of UCLA, our Special Teams Player of the Week. 4 wideouts this time. Tuitama straight back in trouble. And flags fall everywhere. That's going to be a hold. It's not going to matter. And Arizona going backward in chunks. Matthews was the first man to him. Griffin was the first man to him. And Moore was there as well. Tuitama had no chance. And a hold.
And I would think Pete Carroll's going to decline this penalty and have the Wildcats punt. The USC defense.
On the offense, number 74, penalties declined, down is 4.
Not a very good series. -2, -4, -9 on the 3 plays.
Well, that's Mike Diaz. You see him holding Fili Mawala. Sometimes that's the only way you can block a guy like Fili Mawala. He's set up to be the #1 pick in the draft in the spring. Everybody likes Fili Mawala as a big run stopper in the middle. The USC defense really put to the test there for the first time since the 3rd quarter of the Arizona State game when Fili Mawala blocked 2 field goals attempted by Thomas Weber. This defense has really got it going this time of year, Barry.
So Cryer comes on again and hits this one high, and it will be allowed to hit at the 10, and it skips into the end zone. Fortunate break for USC. It'll come out at the 20-yard line. 48-yarder, but it hit kind of on the front of the ball and skipped into the end zone. Let's go to the sidelines. Jim Watson, Waddy.
Barry, quarterbacks always talk about a fast start. We know that everybody wants it, but earlier this week, Mark Sanchez said a fast start was not only important, but it was imperative that SC score on that first drive. They did. They got a field goal. Sanchez says that gives his offense rhythm. Maybe not so far, but he said it also pumps up the D. We have seen that. Early on, watch this. SC is trying to give Arizona a reason to quit, and the Cats want to create a little doubt about the Trojans' dominance. Remember, Arizona has won 6 straight games at home.
This is C.J. Gable on the first give, and he gets absolutely nothing. Blowing in that time was Adrian McCovey from his outside backer spot.
Adrian McCovey, a giant recruit that Stoops corralled out of Lakewood, California. His teammate Luther Brown, another linebacker in Lakewood, California, coming out the same year, ended up at USC. Here comes McCovey flying in. They call that the outside backer run through. He recognized that it was a run play, came in and put a big hit on Gabe.
Right at the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10. Sanchez to throw, in trouble. Now he steps out of trouble, throws, and the pass is caught for a big first down. 20-yard gain on the play. It was Carswell. Damian Williams on the catch for USC.
Well, you see the absolute strength of Mark Sanchez with that big body, able to just stand and deliver, eludes the sack, and gets that ball at Damian Williams, who needed that catch for his confidence after dropping that big catch in the last series.
There's a play fake and a roll the other way this time, and this pass is completed. And this is going to be another big gain for USC. Stanley Havili on the receiving end of this one, and another first down. A gain of 14, and the ball will be at the 46-yard line of Arizona.
All these running backs we talk about for USC, Stanley Havili kind of gets lost in the shuffle. He's probably their best all-around back, and again, the best fullback at USC since the first captain of Pete Carroll's football team at USC in 2001, Charlie Landergan. He is a strong player out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Big time, can catch the ball, block, and he can run too.
Quick toss this time to Osbury. Osbury knocked out of bounds short of the 40-yard line. Marquise Hunley gets him out of there and pick up a 5 on first down. That is very good first down yard.
Here's David Osbury. He's a big, strong guy. Going out of bounds a little bit. And you see Nelson come in and tag him right on the neck.
Joe McKnight in the ball game for the first time now for the Trojans. A tailback, and did not play last week against Washington State. And here is McKnight. He gets a little gap, tries to cut it back, and he'll be stopped about a yard short of the first down to pick up a 4. Xavier Kelly makes the tackle for the Wildcats.
And on this drive, it seems like, Barry, the Trojans have concentrated a little bit more on moving those chains, on getting first downs. They're still playing a lot of different players, different running backs. McKnight's still in the game. Turner and Williams are coming out. Osbury's out there. Blake Ailes. They have so many different skilled players they like to involve in the football game.
2 tight ends. Short yardage situation. Sanchez steps away from trouble. And now he'll throw to the end zone, and it is knocked away at the last minute on a brilliant play by Cam Nelson. So they're still a yard short of the first down, and if Pete Carroll is true to Pete Carroll, he will go for it here on 4th down.
Well, Sanchez had the first down. All he had to do was kind of fall forward and lay down, and it was easy to have that first down, but he desperately wanted Ronald Johnson in the end zone going for the big play. That's a beautiful look and a nice defensive play by Cam Nelson, just sacrificing his body and laying out. I'm not sure that ball would have been completed anyway. And here they go, Barry, just like you said.
4th down and short. And they give to the fullback, and he wasn't going to get it the first time, but now Havili's got that and more, but a flag is down. Havili will take it all the way to the 4-yard line, but a flag down back at the 35. 31-yard gain. However, I believe that this is coming back. It will. It's a hold.
Well, certainly the flag was thrown in that area. This will make it 4th and 10.
On the offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty, still 4th down.
They got Nick Howell, who made his first career start versus Washington State. Played so well. This is his 2nd career start. You're going to see him, number 76, right there on Ricky Elmore, and he's got a hold of him. Wouldn't let him go, and that's really what sprung Havili. Havili had the first down, regardless of the hold, but it wouldn't have been that big of a play had Howell not held Elmore.
So instead, the Trojans will have to punt it, and a wobbly kick off the side of the foot is going to go out of bounds somewhere in the vicinity of the 30-yard line. And they're going to mark this right at the 30-yard line. So a big break for Arizona.
Just a 15-yard punt there by Woidnick, and I think USC is pressing a little bit, especially Mark Sanchez. On third down, he easily had the first down, and he went for the home run. Here's the kick by Woidnick. I don't know not much about kicking. Those guys would always just stretch out while we were bleeding and fighting on the practice field. They just stretch and do little ball tricks, but I'm pretty sure that's not where you're supposed to kick the football.
I don't believe so.
That's my expert analysis.
That was good. Antolin remains the tailback here as the Cats start right at the 30-yard line. In motion comes Turner. They give to Antolin. Antolin pops through a little hole and gets it across the 35, about the 37. And he gets there in a hurry.
There's no denying the explosiveness of Keola Antolin right now. And if I'm Stoops, I'm saying feed this guy the football. They have something special in Antolin. That time, he was too fast for Maualuga and Kaluka Maiava. These are two of the best linebackers in the Pac-10, and he almost ran right between those guys. This is just a true freshman. He is very explosive, and he right now is all Arizona has offensively. Give him the ball. That's what I say.
He had a turf toe earlier in the year. Here he is again, but this time he runs right in to Ray Maualuga.
But that's a physical run. That's a good run and a positive play on second down. And, of course, Maualuga is going to win that battle one-on-one. Keola Antolin, maybe 5'8". We scoffed at that. He's 180 pounds, and Ray Maualuga, by far the scariest looking dude in all of football, maybe even the NFL. He's only a college player. 6'2", 260-pound wrecking senior out of Eureka, California. Butkus candidate. He's a star.
One amongst many. Meantime, third down and 2. Big play here, I think, for Arizona offensively. And Tua Thomas going to go up, and he throws it complete this time to Thomas, and Thomas will have a first down and more across the 45 and the 48-yard line, a gain of 10.
That's money Mike Thomas just sitting down inside that USC zone, and Tua Thomas seems to be settling down a little bit. He finds him. The play fake to Antolin works, freezes the backers just a little bit, and Thomas finds his way through that zone. Nice play on third down by the Cats. I say they go right back to Antolin. That's what I'd do.
Well, 4 wide receivers. They spread the field. They do run out of this formation quite a lot, so we'll see. Ball short of midfield at the 48. And a quick pass to Thomas. And Thomas skips out of the first tackler, gets it across midfield. He's the guy they want to get in space. Let's go to the sideline once more to Jim Watson. Waddy.
Barry, we know how good this SC defense is, 8 points a game, but they can be had. Remember, Oregon State wrote the blueprint. It's a balanced offense. You need to mix the run and the pass. We just saw run, and then they passed for the first down. And remember, the Beavs did it kind of the same way Arizona's trying to, with that less is more. Jacquizz Rodgers, what, 5'7"? Same thing with Antolin right now. And remember, a modest running game will only help Tua Thomas, who's Arizona's all-time passer, if you just settle down and quit overthrowing guys.
Short drop this time, and the pass caught. And breaking the tackle is Thomas again. And I just mentioned, they want to get him in space. First man rarely gets him.
He is fantastic with the football. He's more like a running back after he makes that catch, and what makes him unique is he can also go vertical. That's why he needs that respect. This time Taylor Mays comes in and finally makes the hit. Otherwise, Thomas is going to the house. He is a very skilled receiver. Waddy was talking about what Oregon State did to USC, and I'll tell you what, they run a different offense, but these backs look very similar, and you look at what Mike Thomas has done here in Arizona. It's been spectacular. He has been great since his freshman year, and he loves his spread offense.
He's the all-time leader now. Here's Antolin again, and Antolin's going to get about 3 on first down, and we're going to jump away to a game break. We go to our studios and Michael Eaves. Michael.
Yeah, Barry, we're going to take it to the SEC where it's a final. Number 2 Alabama taking on Tennessee on the road in Knoxville. Roy Upchurch around the left side into the end zone. Alabama very impressive, especially in the second half. They win it big, and John Parker Wilson, very solid outing again for him, including 1 rushing touchdown for the second-ranked team in the country.
So Alabama keeps on going on. Second down and 7 now. Out of the gun once more to Thomas. Short drop throws. Ball caught by Thomas again. Thomas gets it going in the right direction. He'll have a first down inside the 25 and a late flag. Now this USC team did not have a penalty against it all day against Washington State. 0 penalties.
They did a great job because they were an off-penalized team going into that football game. You might even say they bordered on being undisciplined. They cleaned that up against Washington State,
Personal
obviously a
foul,
lesser
face
opponent.
mask on the defense, number 10. Penalties in fourth, half penalties, super goal, automatic first down.
They got Brian Cushing that time, Barry.
What Arizona's starting to do now is get the ball into the hands of their playmakers.
Well, they want to get Antolin the ball because he's so explosive, attacking on the inside of that USC defense. What they've really gotten going on this drive is getting the ball more to the perimeter to Thomas. And like you said, Barry, he's finding a little more space out there.
Well, what you like about him is he really does always, I say always, almost always make the first man miss. As the clock ticks down, that's going to be the last play of the first quarter. And Arizona with its best drive of the ball game so far. Meanwhile, USC's scoreless streak extends to 11 quarters now. So first quarter of action in the books. Defensive battle so far. Trojans lead it 3-0. Second quarter action coming up from here in Tucson after these commercial messages. Don't go away.
Fun.
Tuitama this time giving to Antolin, slips the first man and gets it down to about the 6-yard line. Picked up about 5.
I'm really impressed with Keola Antolin thus far. Obviously, he's going against not a good, but a great USC defense. But he has no fear bringing it in there. And like you said, he gets up there in an absolute hurry. Hawaiian-born kid, raised in Las Vegas, Nevada, out of Bishop Gorman High School, and he basically came out of nowhere. But man, is he a crazy-looking runner?
Oh, he is. He's healthy for the first time. And we talked to some of the players about him, and they said they saw it. First practice he showed up at, but he was never able to really show it. Here's a give to Antolin again. He ran right by Mauluga, gets close to the end zone, and Arizona saying touchdown. Now a late flag comes in. They're going to mark it at the 1-yard line.
Well, it looked like they might get Arizona for a late hit. I'm not sure, but it looked like some activity with Colin Baxter and James Trethewey, the tackle in the center. Whenever you have activity like that and a back pushing for the end zone, it really leaves everybody out there prone to get a late hit called on them. Kyle Moore signaling that it's on Arizona.
The result of the play is the first down. After the play, personal foul, late hit on the offense, number 66. That penalty's at forward 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
And it's James Trethewey who is the guilty party. They will have a first down, but now it's going to be a first down all the way back at the 16-yard line. Here it is.
Well, Barry, offensive linemen, when they see a back pushing toward the end zone, they want to help. Now there you see Baxter putting his head in there, and then the big body, James Trethewey, goes flying in there. He's only 6'6", 300 pounds. I don't know why anybody's worried about that. There you see Baxter, and then on top of them is Trethewey. I'm not sure when the whistle blew, but certainly drew the flag.
10th play of the drive, but now it's first and goal from the 16-yard line. So some work to be done here. Tuitama rolls slightly to his right, still has all day to throw it, and throws it away. Good coverage that time in the secondary. The pass was ostensibly intended for Chris Gronkowski, but Tuitama, I really believe, is throwing that ball away.
Well, the big question is, can Arizona get some points out of this drive? Especially since that very unfortunate penalty for the Cats, where they were pushing toward the end zone. USC's about to give up their first touchdown since 1974.
Incidentally, it is first, or rather second down and 10 now. They didn't have the other end of the chain up. So it is second and 10. And a reverse this time to Mike Thomas. And Thomas is tripped up. Great play in the secondary that time by Taylor Mays. Gain of 4, but that was going much further had Mays not been there.
Well, once again, you see the speed of this USC defense. Here's Mike Thomas. He is scary in space, just like we've been talking about. And it looks like he's got a nice path maybe to get to the end zone. And then you see the recovery and the ability of the USC defense just to close in. Taylor Mays, again, one of the big studs on this SC defense. One of the biggest recruits they've had in a long time. Best-looking athlete on the team, 6'3", 230. A very good safety.
So now it'll be third down and a long 6, and a blitz comes. Tuitama throws, a lot of contact, and no flag. And that one, I must tell you, really looked for all the world like there was contact before the ball.
Well, that's that safety tight end matchup between Rob Gronkowski and Kevin Ellison. We've seen Mays on him as well. And there you see Ellison right under the armpit of Gronkowski well before the ball got there. Definitely worthy of a flag, but we didn't see the flag.
So a 30-yard field goal attempt now for Jason Bonzio. And Jason drives this one through, and this game is tied. First point scored against the USC Trojans in 11 quarters and an additional 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
The no call on the pass interference on Gronkowski. Arizona could be in the end zone with a touchdown, but just getting the 3 and breaking that scoreless streak that USC has had is a confidence builder.
Kick will drive Ronald Johnson all the way to the back of the end zone. The ball goes out of the back of the end zone, and we're going to jump away for a game break once more with Michael Eaves.
Yeah, Barry, let's take it to the big house in Columbus, number 9, Ohio State. Taking on number 3, Penn State, Terrell Pryor. His team's down 7, 35 seconds to go. He's thinking touchdown in the end zone, but Liddell Sargent is thinking interception and ball game. Penn State wins it 13-6. They improved to 9-0 in the season, and they are in prime position, guys, to get to that BCS title game.
Yeah, they are the real deal now.
They're a good football team. They still got to go to Iowa, and Iowa is a much improved squad as well.
Stephon Johnson with the call on first down. He's cracked as he crosses the 20-yard line, picked up 2. Nate Ness on the tackle. Take a look at our American Airlines BCS top 10 teams. Texas, a winner today, although they had a battle with Oklahoma State. Bama's already won. Penn State has already won. Oklahoma in a shootout was a winner today. USC just trying to keep pace. Georgia came up big today as well. Second down and 8. In motion, McKnight out of the backfield. Empty backfield now. Sanchez, 3-step drop, quick throw. Ball caught this time by McCoy, knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line by Marquise Hunley.
The empty backfield almost ensures that you're going to have a short pass. Anthony McCoy looked like a world beater last week with a beautiful touchdown catch against Washington State, something that he didn't really know he had in him. The short passing game is blocking. It's really more of his game, but a very nice gain on second down for McCoy to get his confidence going. Big third down right here.
And SC 0 for 3 in third down opportunities. 3rd and 5. Williams comes in motion, straight back Sanchez, throws for Williams, makes the catch. First down Trojans across the 35-yard line. Marquise Huntley doing everything he could just to hang on to Williams. Gain of 12.
A little too much of a cushion for Hundley there on 3rd and short. You got to know that Williams is going to try a slant, and he really lets Williams get inside position on him. You can see how much space there was. Too much inside position from Hundley. Sanchez has been a little bit under siege. You see the blitz there coming from Sterling Lewis, and he put Sanchez on his back.
Nonetheless, a first down at the 37. Go out of the I formation this time. Short drop, Sanchez pump fake. Now he goes deep, and Turner was tripped a little bit. There was some contact, but I think Turner just kind of lost his footing.
USC's trying a lot of double moves in this football game, trying to take a lot of shots.
Well, a first down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Save time and fuel by shopping comfortably at home. Overstock.com. At home.
With the O.
That's up.
You know, USC's put themselves in a tough position with 2nd and long because they wanted to take a shot on first down in this hostile environment.
Quick pass this time. The ball is juggled and then caught by Osborne. And Osborne's going to be driven backward. I'll tell you what, both defenses are stepping up.
And Arizona's a very interesting defense. We talked a lot about all the stars of the USC defense. Here you see if this ball was caught the first time, would have had a better chance of going. But Osbury has to juggle it. Got to catch it the first time, especially on those short passing plays. Cam Nelson was there first. McCovey also there.
Mike Stoops was there second. Giving them attaboys. 3rd down and 10. Straight back goes Sanchez, throws open as Williams makes the catch, dodges 2 tacklers, still on his feet, and finally dropped across midfield at the 48-yard line. A bullet thrown by Sanchez.
Well, it's starting to look like Mark Sanchez is calming down. He is an emotional football player. Sometimes one might say a little too emotional for a quarterback, but I think this team really feeds off him. Drops back, has a lot of time, and delivers a perfect ball to his best receiver, Damian Williams. Damian Williams has made a lot of waves since coming into USC. A lot of big-time recruits, a lot of All-Americans. Williams has been the best, and he's a transfer from Arkansas.
3 catches, 47 yards for Williams. This time to give straight ahead. Stephon Johnson on the carry, and he'll get about 4 yards. Ness makes the stop. They're all high school pals.
Here we go.
Yeah, Stephon Johnson at a Dorsey High School. Nate Ness at a Gardena High School by way of El Camino Junior College in Torrance. Their coach, John Featherstone at El Camino College from Southern California, was in the team hotel last night pumping up Ness and getting him going.
That's right. Give to Johnson again. Johnson gets a little gap this time. And Johnson will get it inside the 40 to about the 37-yard line. That'll be a USC 1st down. Dominique Austin and Nate Ness on the stop for the Wildcats, but a 1st down for the Trojans. Johnson now 5 carries, 20 yards.
It'll be interesting to see if Pete Carroll leaves Stephon Johnson in the football game at this point. He's run pretty well in this drive, done pretty well on 1st down, had some good runs. Let's see if they leave him in and let him get a rhythm.
He remains in there right now. Give to Johnson again. Johnson again gets through a little gap, and he'll pick up about 9. Sterling Lewis makes the stop, but they're finding a home over on the right side.
Well, this USC offensive line is athletic and strong. A lot of people thought it was a very inexperienced offensive line coming into the football season, but you see guys just getting cut down all over the place, and Stephon Johnson does a great job of just gliding out there, using some patience. I believe he is their most patient runner, then finds the hole and uses his legs to push through that hole, a little bit like Lindale White, but Stephon Johnson about 30 pounds lighter than Lindale White.
So 2nd down and short. Now it's dealer's choice here. Give it to the fullback, Havili, flag down. Havili will have the 1st down, but let's see about the flag.
I think they're going to say Damian Williams stopped his motion and started going forward there. They're going to get USC for a 5-yard penalty.
So instead of 2nd and short, it'll now be 2nd and 6.
Illegal motion on the offense. 5-yard penalty, previous spot, still 2nd down.
Referee, Jay Strickerts. Second down and 6 now for Sanchez. And now we got a timeout called by the Trojans. So the Trojans will take their first timeout here of the 1st half. Sanchez will come over, talk it over with the coaching staff. 7:53 left in the half, and we're tied at 3. We'll have it 2nd down and 6. Give to Johnson again, starts inside, takes it outside, 1st down and more, out of bounds, close to the 25-yard line. Great job that time by Stephon Johnson. Took 1 step inside, kicked it outside, and picked up about 10.
Look at the feet of Stephon Johnson. I mean, just absolutely brilliant. He notices that there's men coming free on the outside. This is just a zone play. He's supposed to take it inside, but immediately he takes the correct route, leaves Adrian McCovey in the dust, and takes it for a 1st down. He has really got it going, and a very wise move by the Trojan coaching staff to leave Stephon Johnson in the game.
Well, they will mark this just outside the 26-yard line. Johnson stays in the ball game. Sanchez give to Johnson again, and Johnson slips the first tackle and will get it down inside the 25 to about the 23. Stopped by rookie Elmore. Johnson at 215, no small guy.
No, and truly out of the Los Angeles City area, probably one of the best running backs in the history of the Los Angeles City high school world. I mean, this guy put up numbers from his freshman year at Dorsey High all the way through his senior year, and decided to stay local and just go right down the road to the University of Southern California. He's had to battle for his playing time, though.
Doing a great job right now. Play fake this time. Sanchez will throw. He's got all day as he rolls to his right. Throws underneath to a waiting Havili, and Havili will make the catch and be stopped about a yard short of the first down.
Stephon Johnson is not just running the ball well. He's not just taking it on first down and giving the Trojans some strong legs and getting good yardage. Watch him on the cut block, taking the legs out from Ricky Elmore, allowing Mark Sanchez to relax, move outside, and dump the ball off to his outlet. Stanley Havili, Sterling Lewis eventually makes the tackle, but Ricky Elmore getting cut down in a big way by the Trojan tailback. He's having a great first half.
13th play of this drive. It's consumed more than 6 minutes. And Sanchez this time keeps it himself. He'll have the first down inside the 15-yard line. Sanchez just went with a quick count that time. Took it, one step to his right, found a little gap, picked up the first down.
I'm not sure anybody else other than Chris O'Dowd and Mark Sanchez, Mark and his center, knew that that was going to be a quarterback sneak. I think he came up to the line of scrimmage and decided to take it himself.
So a first down at the 14-yard line. Havili comes in motion. Straight back Sanchez. Pump fake. Now he throws. Got him in wide open and overthrew Havili in the end zone.
Sometimes when you want to go deeper to your fullback and drop the ball into his hands, it's hard. Last week we saw Mark Sanchez underthrow Stephon Johnson. This time he overthrows another back, Stanley Havili. Marquise Hundley was on the coverage, but it's kind of hard to gauge where your back is going to be as far as the end zone goes. You're just not used to making those type of throws to your running backs. It's more of a wide receiver tight end route.
So second down and 10. This time they spread the field a little bit more. McKnight in the ball game now as Johnson leaves. And this is McKnight. McKnight gets a little gap, cuts it inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line. It'll be first and goal. Pick up of 12 yards. What a drive this has been for USC.
Nate Ness trying to get to the legs of Joe McKnight. Joe McKnight, a very shifty runner coming off that toe injury. We've been talking about him, and he's back out of the game. Stephon Johnson is back in, and the Trojans doing a great job running the ball on this drive, realizing the Cats are having trouble stopping this very athletic Trojan offensive line.
16th play of this drive. Consumed 7 minutes and 20 seconds. And this time the pass to Havili, knocked away at the last minute. Good job defensively that time again by Marquise Hundley. Havili had it on the tips of his fingers. And then Hundley gave him a little shot and he couldn't hold on.
Well, whenever you're throwing the ball to a back, you really got to throw it 1 foot in front of the numbers or right on the numbers. These guys not great at stretching out and making those kinds of plays. Havili does have very good hands, and he'll tell you he should have caught that ball, and he should have caught that ball. But Mark Sanchez will also tell you that that ball has got to be on the chest of the running back.
Second down, Stephon Johnson is the running back, the tailback at least. Havili the fullback. They give it to Johnson. Johnson trying to go outside, now cuts it inside. Close, but I don't think he's going to get in. They're going to mark the touchdown. Linesman came in, took a very long look, and then signaled touchdown.
Well, it looked like Stephon Johnson had a clear path to the end zone after he decided to make his cut on the stretch play. But the Cats doing a great job of recovering right at the goal line. There's the hit. That's a tough call.
I think they'll probably take another look at this.
His seat was down and his back was bent. I'm not sure the ball was over the goal line. There you see Stoops, a fiery man on that sideline.
He says he's a much calmer gentleman now, though.
He certainly is in the meeting.
Yeah, he is.
And
He's
on
great.
the phone. and on the radio, but he still gets fired up on that sideline. I like to have him. I like to have him with that fire on the sideline. I like to see a coach with some emotion.
Well, during this booth review, World Financial Group asks, have you reviewed your finances lately? World Financial Group, your dreams, our strategies. Here's another look at it. See what you think.
It's Johnson kind of curling his back to the defender as Nate Ness came around to hit him. That leaves doubt in the mind. It looks like his seat is down and the ball is not over the goal line.
Yeah, it does.
But I'm not sure if there's conclusive. Now, this is a great look from the guys in the truck. Let's take a look at this. There, the ball's not over. Still not over. He's down. Ball's not over.
Yeah, I think this one will come back. They will.
It's not really that close.
I'm sure they will disallow this touchdown. I don't think the ball ever did cross the plane until now.
A great job of fighting for that goal line by Stephon Johnson, and a great job of fighting to keep him out by the Cats defense.
There's another look at it. He's down.
I think there's enough evidence to overturn this one. USC's got the PAT team out there, though. But the offense is lingering close by.
Both coaches just kind of waiting in anticipation here. And they're taking a lot of time with this review, which would indicate that there could be some serious question about it.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Play results in a touchdown.
Well, there you are. Shows you what we know, huh?
They might say that he was over right at first.
17-play drive, 80 yards, took 7 minutes, 53 seconds. Really was a thing of beauty. They were perfect on third downs, 4 of 4. And they now lead it 9-3 with the extra point coming.
I feel so wrong.
Beeler drives it through. It is a 10-3 ball game. 5 minutes and 3 seconds remaining to be played here in the first half. When we come back, we'll send you to our College Football Saturday studio with Michael Eaves. Nine in a row last week, 12 straight touchbacks. Well, we want to remind you that you can win tickets to the 2008 and Rose Bowl game. All you have to do is go to pac10.org, click on the logo that you see up in the left-hand corner there, and you can win tickets to 2009 Rose Bowl game, January 1st.
Nothing like it. New Year's Day in Pasadena. It seems like colors are brighter that day. The sun shines hotter. Smiles are bigger. Teeth are whiter.
But with all due respect, USC would rather not be there.
They call it the Old Brown Shoe Bowl now.
There's a give to Antolin. Antolin breaks it across the 25, about the 27, and a good first down yardage once again, a pickup of 6.
I think it's really important for Sonny Dykes, the Arizona offensive coordinator, and this Arizona offense, Willie Tuatama, Antolin, to really be calm on this drive. This is a big drive for the Cats. They have to be relaxed and try to get some first downs and answer USC. They were on the sideline a long time.
They flopped the H-back and the tight end, the Gronkowski brothers. Tuatama always has options when it comes to the line of scrimmage. Short drop this time. Now Tuatama going to air it out here for Thomas, and Thomas cannot quite catch up with him. Kevin Thomas was defending him, but Mike Thomas, I'm not sure he really saw that ball all that well.
No, he could have lost that one in the lights here in the desert evening. I'll tell you what, both these teams look like they can have some success running the football. USC had that great drive with patience. There you see Sonny Dykes. He's right there in the middle.
Came over from Texas Tech. Of course, his dad, a great coach for many years, a real character. Sonny learned at the knee of the master. In his second year here, this offense is clicking pretty good this year. They've averaged about 50 points in their wins, and Tuatama is going to call a timeout here, second timeout of the half.
It really seemed like USC could get it done on the ground this entire football game. They came out trying to take a bunch of shots, and the same with Arizona. Looks like they can get it done on the ground in this football game, but they've been trying to take a lot of shots. The guy I really like to watch, and he's my hats-off guy this week, is Keola Antolin. And really hats off to Stoops, because Stoops was going with Grigsby all year. No question, Grigsby's a great back, but he fumbled early against Cal, and that's one of many costly fumbles he's had this year. So they went with a true freshman, and they weren't afraid to go with Keola Antolin when they were down to Cal. And boy, did he respond. I mean, 149 yards, 3 touchdowns. That takes a lot of confidence and a lot of guts for a coach to pull the trigger on a big-time starter like Nick Grigsby and put in a true freshman. And man, did it work out last week against Cal. Arizona got that big win, and that's why this crowd is here. That's why there's so much hope in the desert for this football game. And Arizona is by no means out of this football game, but they need a first down here.
Yeah, this is a big play right here for Arizona. Don't want to give it back to USC after that long drive ending in a touchdown. They need 4. This pass is caught, and it will be enough for a first down. Mike Thomas on the receiving end of that one. Thomas getting himself really involved. Pinkard defending for USC.
Well, we met with Money Mike Thomas yesterday, and he's a young man out of DeSoto, Texas. It's funny because he was talking about Sonny Dykes, and Sonny Dykes recruiting him for Texas Tech. Thomas going to Arizona and running a different kind of offense here at first, and then Sonny Dykes shows up and kind of saves Mike Thomas, turns him into one of the best and most productive receivers in the country, and he's loving this spread that they run with Willie Tuatama.
Got 6 catches today. Here's a gift to Antolin on the stretch. He's got room. He's the 40 and cracked as he crossed the 40-yard line by Taylor Mays. He was going full steam and then he disappeared.
That was a brutal hit by the big safety Taylor Mays. Taylor Mays just flying in. This is one of a few big plays he's already had. Look at him close on the little back, number 2 on number 2. Doesn't wrap up, but he didn't need to. Just the helmet to the side of the head. Ooh.
And Antolin will come out of the ball game.
That's a brutal hit for a young back to take.
Picked up 8.
Great run. Till the end.
Yeah, till the end. The end was sudden. 2nd and 2. Grigsby back at running back. This is Grigsby, and Grigsby will get the first down. Avoided the first tackle. Picks up the first down at the 43-yard line. Pinkard makes the tackle.
And nice feat by Nick Grigsby. I know we've talked a lot about Keola Antolin. Nick Grigsby is a guy who's put up a lot of numbers this year. Really solidified that run game for Arizona last year as a true freshman. And you saw his quick feet. We've seen a lot of good running back play between Grigsby and McKnight and Antolin and Stephon Johnson.
First down at the 44-yard line. Tuatama going to go up, airs it out, going deep, and unable to make the catch on the sideline was Terrell Turner. Good coverage that time by the Trojans.
We're not seeing a lot of patience from Sonny Dykes calling this football game. That's the second shot they've taken on this drive. I don't believe that that's necessary for the Cats to do. I really think it puts them in a tough position with 2nd and 10.
Well, coming up at halftime, Michael Eaves in our DirecTV halftime show with DeMarco Farr. Talk about the top 25 today. Top 25 did not help the USC Trojans today. I love all the highlights, and it still takes time. 310-425-9455. Pass this time and a tough catch. Look at Gronkowski taking people with him. He took Cushing and Ellison, 2 pretty tough dudes, for a little ride.
Well, we know who Rob Gronkowski is. His brother Chris Gronkowski, we know, also on the team. Other brother Dan with a touchdown today for Maryland in their win. But Rob's the best of the bunch. You see the strong hands making that catch, and I mean, he's just a horse. 6'6", 260 pounds, very flexible, great in the red zone. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and short, but this is a guy that watches every single calorie that he eats, every carb. Big intake guy. He's got a nice flat top. He's a lot like me.
Yeah, he is. I was going to just mention.
Every carb I count.
I know you do. As they're going down. Another timeout, and that is the 2nd timeout on this series for the Arizona Wildcats, but the clock was ticking down. They had no choice here. They're out of timeouts now.
And this is a tough spot for the Cats to be in. Obviously, 2 very good backs in Grigsby and Antolin. But what do? One of them is only about 178 pounds. The other one, maybe 180 pounds. They're not really going to be able to push the pile, especially against guys like Fili Mawala in the middle for USC.
Well, in short yardage situations, they have thrown the ball usually to that guy. More on him. Here's Jim Watson.
Yeah, they're finally getting Gronkowski involved in this, and that may be a new name to some Pac-10 fans, but in Western New York, the Gronkowskis are a clan of studs. Older brother Gordy, first earned a D1 scholarship. Rob and Chris here at Arizona. Brother Dan at Maryland, I think he scored a touchdown today. They even have a little brother, Glenn, who's a high school senior, and they all agree he's the best of all. Their dad was a standout offensive lineman at Syracuse way back in the day. He started the G&G Fitness Empire. Quadzilla, Petros. All the boys in the family are 6'2", 200, and the family food bill in high school was over $600 a week. But Dad said he's getting even now because with all these scholarships, he has saved, get this, over $500,000 in tuition.
Thanks, Waddy. Here's the give this time to Grigsby, and Grigsby's going to get the first down at the 45-yard line of the Trojans.
Good job by Grigsby. Not a big guy, but uses his feet to find an open lane and get that first down. Waddy's talking about Quadzilla with the Gronkowski brothers. I think they were called back in the east side of this country the Swole Patrol.
Swole Patrol.
The Swole Patrol. A lot of flat tops. A lot of flat tops, a lot of working out. A lot of, hey, do I look big today or am I getting smaller? They're great football players.
They really are. Direct snap this time and a screen, a bubble screen, and Turner has room. 40, 35, stretching for another first down at the 33-yard line. That was near disaster, turned into an excellent play.
Well, Ray Maualuga timed his blitz perfectly, and even though that was the right play for Arizona to dial up, Maualuga, so reckless and so strong coming after the quarterback, that Tuatama almost didn't get this ball off, but he does deliver it perfectly, and a nice job by Turner catching the ball and getting it upfield. Matthews eventually makes a stop, but not before the Cats get another first down.
At the 33-yard line. And again, Tuatama's always got options when he comes up there, as we said earlier. And this time to give to Grigsby, nothing doing. Lost a yard. Fili Mawala was right in his grill. The Arizona coaching staff very upset about something. I'm not quite sure what it is. 34 seconds, so the clock is a factor. They have no timeouts, remember. And they spike this one, so now...
Well, Stoops is frustrated right now because he knows he didn't want to have to call 2 timeouts in this series. Now they're out of timeouts with a great shot to score and put together a really good drive against this Trojan defense. Answered the USC touchdown very well as far as moving the ball and getting first downs, but that's not going to beat USC. That's not going to put bread on the table. Stoops knows he needs points, and they need him on this drive, even just a field goal. So let's see what they can dial up. Gronkowski's coming out the game.
And they got to hurry up here. They got 10 seconds, 9 seconds, and it's a 3rd down and 11. They got to hurry and get this play off. 2 seconds, and they do. And a blitz comes and a screen to Turner again, and this time there's nothing doing. So now they're going to have to try to hustle a field goal team on. 23 seconds, the clock continues to run. 20 seconds, 19 seconds. Coming down toward the 15-second mark. They should get this done. It'll be a 48-yarder. 10 seconds, and they will get the kick off. Bonzio hits it pretty good, has the distance. It is no good. Pulled it just a little bit. And the first half will come to an end on a frustrating note for Mike Stoops and the Arizona Wildcats. There's still 2 ticks left. He hit it pretty good. He had the distance, and it just hooked at the end.
Well, that's a shame for the Cats. And a break for USC. Arizona with poor clock management, only able to rush a field goal try. Now the Trojans just going to take a knee and get out with a 7-point lead.
So that will bring a very interesting first half to an end. Defense dominated. Both teams moved the football low the last couple of series. I think the early part of the second half going to tell a very big story in this game. So at the half, it's USC 10 and Arizona 3. And right now, let's send it to Jim Watson for a freecreditreport.com sideline report. Waddy.
Let's talk about that drive. That was pretty impressive. 17 plays, 8 minutes, 80 yards. That's a statement.
Yeah, it was a big drive for us. We really ran the ball well on that drive. Looked a little better than it has. It's going to be good. It's a good game now. It's good. They're doing good, and we're getting it right. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great second half.
Another great effort by your defense. You're containing Antolin, and you're pressuring Tuatama. You got to be pleased.
Yeah, we're doing okay. Not quite the way we want to yet, but we're getting it. They're leaking a little bit too much in the running game. We got to play that a little bit better.
Appreciate the time. We'll see you second.
All right,
Pete Carroll on his way to the locker room. Hey, exactly what we expected, guys. The top 2 defenses in the Pac-10.
Side, and Pete, comes down to a game really of adjustments. And when you talk about adjustments, USC over this season scored 115 points in the second half to their opponent's 6.
Well, USC has a great shot, Barry, to pull away in this second half if they continue to do what's been successful for the Trojans offense, and that is to run the football. They look great. They left Stephon Johnson in the game, and they had a very strong statement drive for a touchdown. Arizona's been running the ball very well, too. Both these teams have been taking unneeded shots, in my opinion, when they could just be running the football.
Well, it's a simple fact that SC has scored all those points and not given up very many points, 59-0 in the third quarter. They've not allowed a point in the third quarter. SC will get the ball first to start the second half. Ronald Johnson will be the deep man for USC. High end-over-end kick, and this one will be returned. It's going to be Ronald Johnson at the goal line to the 10, the 15, the 20. Little gap, and tripped up as he crossed the 25. And a late flag. And right now we go to the field for the second half. Jim Watson with a FullCreditReport.com halftime report. Waddy.
Barry, I talked to Mike Stoops coming out of the Arizona locker room, and really he wasn't so disappointed as he was aggravated. He talked about all the plays they left on the field in the first half, the bad execution. We talked about Willie Tuatama and how pumped up he was early on, overthrowing a lot of guys. He did say he liked the way Arizona ran the ball, and then I asked, are you going to try to get the ball to Gronkowski a little bit more? That's an obvious question. He laughed. He said, we've been trying to, but it's not so much we're not getting it to him. SC is taken away. Defensively, I asked about SC's last drive, that 8-minute monster. He said, hey, we had a chance to stop them. We busted assignments. And Barry, like you just said, SC is awesome. No points allowed in the third quarter and only 6 points all year in the second half. That was that 2-yard drive at Oregon State after the interception.
Yeah, so it's really, the onus really does fall on Arizona here. Now, as you mentioned, all of that said, Arizona has scored 117 points in the second half. So they're a good offensive second half team. They give to Gable this time, and Gable will get about 4 across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. Ronnie Palmer on the tackle. Incidentally, we had a personal foul against USC on that kick return. There's the late hit right there.
That's Chris Gallipo, the linebacker. And just a little overzealousness by the USC kickoff return team.
So it'll be second down and about 6. Sanchez will throw. Throws a slant, and it was up in the air for a long time. Johnson could hang on to it. And had that have been picked, that was going the other way. Numbers at the end of the first half, and actually the numbers are very comparable. That long drive of USC, in fact, they only had the ball 12 minutes and 47 seconds, and 8 minutes of it were on that long drive.
Well, we talked about how good both these defenses are. USC star-laden, and we know all the names on the SED. The Arizona defense, kind of more of a communicative, no-name defense. They've been playing pretty well. They've had a hard time stopping USC's run, though.
Going with an empty backfield. Now they bring McKnight in motion. Straight back Sanchez. Got all day to throw it. Now he bounces into trouble. Ball's loose. And who's got it? I believe the Wildcats may have this. They do. Huge break to start the second half for the Arizona Wildcats.
Well, the Trojans had a big turnover in the first half, and they missed that opportunity. Here's another giant turnover in the second half. A huge sack by the long golden-haired Brooks Reed. And Darnold Horton comes comes up with the fumble recovery. Mark Sanchez, this was meant to be a quick throw over the middle to McKnight.
I don't think he ever saw Reed, Pete.
Brooks Reed comes from the backside. He did not feel him or see him, absolutely. And a beautiful sack. Great blow delivered by Reed. Cats with a big opportunity.
First down at the 15-yard line. And they gave us to Grigsby, and Grigsby wriggles down inside the 15 to about the 12-yard line. Mauluga on the stop. And we have not seen Keola Antolin since he was whacked by Taylor Mays. Haven't had any report of an injury.
Taylor Mays put a big hit right on the head of Keola Antolin. If you have to go with the back for the rest of the game, Grigsby's not a bad choice, but does not look as explosive as Antolin. Right now they're using Chris Gronkowski in the fullback position right in the eye.
Now he comes in motion. Second down. And to give to Grigsby again. And Grigsby a little bit of room. We'll get it inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line. It's going to bring about a third down and 4. Maava on the tackle for USC.
There's Kaluka Maava. And there's Willie Tuatama. A lot like Mark Sanchez, a little fired up in that first half, missed some throws. Arizona really trying to work that perimeter with Mike Thomas in the first half.
Thomas not in the ball game right now as they slot Dean inside of Turner to the left side. Third down and 4. Huge play here. And a pitch this time to Grigsby. Gets the outside. Will have the first down and is horse collared. And the Arizona coaches want a penalty on that. Clay Matthews got him. And it's going to be marked close and maybe not enough for a first down. It is a first down. Here's a look.
He had the back of the jersey of Grigsby. That's
a penalty.
What I believe to be a horse collar tackle, exactly, but didn't get called, but still a first down for the Cats. And you see how angry Stoops is, his brother Mark trying to pull him back.
And he didn't get a very good spot either. I think he's got a pretty darn good argument here, to tell you the truth. In any case, first down and goal. Tuitama under center. Give to Grigsby again. And Grigsby is in. Touchdown Cats. And this game is a point from being tied.
Something for this homecoming Cats crowd to cheer about. They are getting excited. Maybe that's an understatement.
I think it is. Some pretty good blocking up front that time.
Beautiful push by the Cats offensive line. Grigsby scoring and handing it to the referee. Nice play by the tailback.
Try for point by Bonzio is up and good, and we're tied at 10. 12 minutes, 18 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Arizona becomes the first team all season to score in the third quarter against the Trojans. Supports college football. Overstock.com. At home with the O. Well, the Wildcats put 6 on the board, add the extra point. We're tied just underway here in the second half. There's the man that made the big stop on Sanchez and forced the fumble that resulted in the score. Bonzio's kick driven deep. Johnson won't return it.
Barry, the last touchdown allowed by USC and their defense was to Oregon in the first quarter on October 4th. Today is October 25th, and SC has played every Saturday this month. No buys in October, so that has got to be a huge confidence builder for the Cats, even coming off that turnover, and that's the second turnover for Mark Sanchez in this football game.
Kept it all on the ground, 4 running plays, punched it into the end zone from 15 yards out. Out of the I formation, Hazelton comes in motion. And Sanchez going to throw, does throw, pass is caught. And it's caught by Turner for a first down up the 34-yard line. Pickup of 14 on first down.
The Trojans were +4 in turnover margin on the season coming in. Now they're -2 tonight. There's Sanchez setting his feet, and you see the ability in that arm. Best arm at USC since Carson Palmer was throwing the ball. And Patrick Turner doing a great job catching the ball this season. Devin Ross and Cam Nelson on the stop.
Big-time quarterback is Sanchez, I believe. A great kid as well. Nothing doing for McKnight. He is cracked right at the line of scrimmage. First down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Shop the company that supports college football. Overstock.com at home.
With the O.
Who resonates on the O?
I'm starting to get my game going. As this game improves.
Starting to get your O's.
It's going to be a good one, Barrett.
Second down 10. McKnight. And make it Johnson, and Johnson gets the 42, maybe the 43-yard line. By far their most effective running back tonight. He picks up 7.
And on top of running the ball so well from the line of scrimmage, he had that great punt return early in the football game. Stephon Johnson showing a lot of maturity as a junior in this football game. This hostile crowd all over the Trojans, and he's played with a lot of ice water in his veins.
I apologize for the words that might have been uttered by some of the fans here that might have gotten out across our lines. Of course, we have no control over that. We do apologize. Sanchez rolls, throws to Johnson, first down. Just pitch and catch. Leighton Ness runs him out, but another first down for the Trojans right around midfield.
And that's really the USC offense. Move Mark Sanchez, let him throw on the run, get him out on the perimeter, and distribute the ball. They have so many weapons, USC does, and oftentimes they call plays to involve everybody, and sometimes that stalls the offense a little bit.
Well, they're marking short of midfield at the 48-yard line. Williams comes to the near side, Johnson to the far side. They bring a blitz off the edge this time, and Sanchez is wrapped up. Second sack. This one by Xavier Kelly, but he had a lot of help.
Xavier Kelly experiencing his first year with big playing time for the Cats. One of those Texas recruits for Stoops out of Denton, Texas. And again, Sanchez pushing up in the pocket, and Kelly coming from behind him, a lot like Brooks Reed on the turnover in the last series.
So it'll be second down and 12 after the sack. This time they stack Johnson and Williams to the left side. Sanchez will put it up again. He has all day. Now he throws underneath. The catch is made by Johnson, and he's dropped immediately by Marquise Hundley. Hundley's had a nice game.
He's certainly been involved in a lot of different plays, and that was a nice job that time by Sanchez. When you have that big of an arm and you have that much skill, sometimes you make ill-advised throws down the field, especially when you have a lot of time to throw it, because you feel like you can throw the ball through defenders, fit it in places maybe it shouldn't go because of the skill of your arm. That time Sanchez decides to hit the outlet route, gets Johnson, and gets a positive gain on second and long.
So now it's third and long. 3rd and 8. Trojans are 4 of 7 in third down conversions. Patterson comes in motion, and now whistle is blown. And the Trojans, I believe, are going to have to take a timeout. They are. 8 minutes, 48 seconds left, third quarter. Trojans will have to talk it over. Didn't have the right personnel on the field. We're coming back.
Out with a posse of trainers. He nodded to Stoops and said, "I'm ready to go. I expect him to go back in."
Yeah, and I think that's true, but I also think I saw one of his coaches say, "I'm not doing it." Pass is caught this time by Williams, and a big first down to the 30-yard line of the Cats. Gain of 19. It's going to be interesting to see if they do let Antolin go back out there. Devin Ross defending here, but perfect throw, perfect route, perfect play.
Damian Williams certainly has had a big game for the Trojans, and I know that USC didn't want to call a timeout that early in the second half, especially in this tight of a football game, but if you're going to come off a timeout, you'd better dial up something that works, and that time's the Trojans find Damian Williams on the out route.
And now we have another stoppage, and this is for an injury. Devin Ross of the Wildcats is down on the field. Now he gets to his feet.
Devin Ross is a guy that played behind Antoine Cason for a long time. Of course, Antoine Cason, big-time player here at Arizona, now with the San Diego Chargers. They like Ross a lot. This is his first year starting, and they need him.
You can see the numbers on him. He's team leader and passes broken up. It appears to be okay, but he has to come out of the game, at least for the play. Trevin Wade replaces him. Now let's see if they test Trevin Wade. Sanchez going to throw, looking for it all over the middle, and it was Wade who knocked it away. A great job. How about that for stepping up?
Well, they go right after Trevin Wade. He's in the football game for Devin Ross, trying to get the ball to old Rojo, Ronald Johnson. He is the deep threat for the Trojans, and he definitely wants a flag, but a great aggressive play by a corner who just got in the football game. That's textbook football. You go after the corner who just came into football game with your fastest player.
And now he's out, and Devin Ross is back. Sanchez this time in trouble, bounces off his own man, now he throws wide open. Havili, touchdown. 30 yards.
Nate Ness coming on the free safety blitz, and he's hurt in the backfield. You're going to see the block by Stephon Johnson right to the legs. A beautiful cut block by the USC tailback. Second big one he's had in this football game. And Nate Ness just goes flying, helicoptering over Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez showing a lot of courage and staying in that pocket. He had to. He knew he saw Stanley Havili wide open down the field. And that's an easy throw and catch, but that was hard-earned for Stephon Johnson, and a big-time cut block that looks like it really hurt Nate Ness.
And Ness is shaking off the help. Havili went in motion that time. And up here in the booth, looked like he headed toward the line of scrimmage, I must tell you. But no flag, and so it's a touchdown, and USC has taken back the lead.
He was certainly wide open, and Sanchez just sticking in the pocket. Stephon Johnson has really had a great all-around football game thus far. Big blocks, the big punt return, and running the football well in the I formation. I haven't seen USC run the I formation since John Robinson's first tenure.
That's right. John just down the way, incidentally, doing the radio broadcast nationally tonight. Try for point is up and good, and the Trojans are back in front by 7. We're coming back. So once again, Beeler will kick it away. Mike Thomas, the deep man. Cats have not had a chance at a return. This time, maybe. Thomas about 2 yards deep. He'll come out. They fake a reverse. Thomas has room. Trying to take it to the outside. It's going to be a race. And Thomas has one man to beat, and he can't quite do it as Beeler, the kicker, drags him down at the 46-yard line. A 55-yard return.
Well, USC, like you said, Barry, hasn't had a lot of shots to cover kicks because of the way Beeler has been kicking. But this time, the fake reverse works. Nice big hole for Thomas. He makes a move. He's great in space. And Beeler, who looks more like a linebacker than he does a kicker. I mean, he is a pretty athletic guy, is able to make that stop.
Ran him down. And Thomas, tough guy, get an angle on him. So Grigsby remains in the game. It'll be interesting to see if Anton does get back in. I was sure I saw Coach say, I'm not doing it. They give this to Grigsby and nothing doing. Philly Moala right there.
Here's the touchdown throw again. watch Stephon Johnson. He's going to have to come all the way around Mark Sanchez to make the block on Nate Ness. This is a very difficult play for a running back to make, getting underneath his quarterback and taking the feed out from Nate Ness. And that might be the greatest vision that Mark Sanchez has shown in his 10 starts at USC. And this is the most Havili's been in the game plan in his career.
Good point, though. Great block by Johnson made that play. Tuitama, a screen too tall for Grigsby. Right play at the right time.
And just like at the end of the first half, this is very important for Arizona to answer this score by USC. They had such a great feeling scoring that touchdown on this stingy Trojan defense. They've got to keep it going, and now faced with a third and very long. Stanley Havili-Berry's had 2 of his big plays wiped out by penalties in this football game, but he's really been a part of the game plan.
Yeah. This time they spread the field, 3rd down 11. Trojans come with a 4-man rush in trouble as Tuitama wrapped up all the way back at the 40-yard line. 3rd sack for USC. Tuitama did not have a chance. And it was Clay Matthews and Kyle Moore coming off the edge.
And without Antolin in the football game, Arizona really trying to drop back and throw the football, and there was no shot. Rich Trojan got to him first. Who's going to get that sack in the books? That's going to be a difficult call for the statistician.
Pryor will come on to do the punting. Stephon Johnson, the deep man. High kick to drive Johnson all the way back. He makes the catch in his own end zone. Now he starts back to the 5, to the 10, and dragged down. A flag is down as well at the 13-yard line. 58-yard punt and an 8-yard return. And the flag is down at about the 6-yard line. So I think this one's going to back up.
That might be the first mistake Stephon Johnson has made in this football game, going all the way back in his own end zone and catching that punt. Everybody knows.
Return, illegal block in the back, on the return team, number 36. Penalties and 4 tap finishes to the goal from the spot of the foul. Down as 1.
Saying, Barry, everybody knows that once that ball goes past the 10-yard line, the return man's supposed to let it go. That's on Josh Pinkard. It's a big break for the Cats.
There was that block in the back. So the Trojans will have a very long field. They have moved the ball extremely well their last couple of possessions. Gable now the tailback. Sanchez going to throw out of his own end zone. Now he's in trouble, rolls to the side, has a man out there, and it's Havili once more, and Havili's going to get about 8 more yards. And a great job by Sanchez. Havili had to be his 3rd option there.
That was really about the USC offensive line. They tried to double move with Patrick Turner. And then Sanchez looking at another receiver, and then Havili was all the way on the other side, once again involving their fullback. And Stanley Havili really a do-everything guy for USC today, catching the ball downfield, catching the ball short, running the football, and blocking pretty well.
15 to 25, 164 yards for Sanchez, 4 catches, 57 yards and a touch for Havili, and this is Johnson for the 1st down. Sterling Lewis makes the stop. Let's go to the sideline once more. Here's Jim Watson. Waddy.
Barry, a lot of things happened quickly on the Arizona sideline. Nate Ness got laid out by Stephon Johnson, came over to the sideline. It looked like he had injured his kneecap. They worked on him for a couple of minutes. He hopped right back up, took a swig of Gatorade, and then took off and went right back in the game. He's okay. I would like to apologize. The all-powerful Oz, you were right. Antolin's not going to go back into this game. I apologize for questioning you, Barry.
Never do that.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Exactly. Play fake and rolling out is Sanchez, and Sanchez going to keep it. He gets by the first tackler, who was Ricky Elmore, turns it into a positive gain.
There's that $1 million smile of Mark Sanchez's.
Yeah, he's a guy, we've talked to him the last couple of weeks. Really upstanding guy, terrific guy, kind of guy you want on your football team. Kind of guy you want to hang out with. You get good looking in a hurry when you hang out with guys like Sanchez.
You certainly get a lot of attention. And the real difference between him and Willie Tuitama is that Sanchez has the better feet. He's the more mobile quarterback.
Give this to Johnson again, and Johnson picks up some more good yardage. He gets about 4, maybe 5 more. And right now, USC very efficient on offense.
Once again, Sterling Lewis finally getting to Stephon Johnson, but not before that good game. You know, Barry, for all the running backs that USC is trying to appease this season with the football, it is clear right now, at least in this football game, the best formula to win is to scrub the rotation and ride Stephon Johnson. He is playing a great all-around football game.
Really is. 3rd down and 2. He remains the tailback. Trojans 5 of 9 in 3rd down conversions. Remember, they missed their first 3. Negative throw for it. Sanchez in trouble. Now he throws again to his outlet, only this time stopped short of the 1st down. It was Blake Ailes on the reception, making Jimmy Miller. The bottom line is it's 4th down. Last punt now by Woodnick was 15 yards. And he hits this one low, and Thomas runs up and makes a pretty daring return to about the 40-yard line. All right, P, let's jump in the old Acura. Take a little drive around campus. Hit the brakes.
I got shotgun.
Well, our drive around campus features the oldest building on the University of Arizona campus. Classes first held in Old Main back in 1891. Old Main's still the only building on campus and still the center of activity for gatherings like last night's homecoming bonfire. Old Main, 1891. No, I was not going to graduate.
I didn't say a word.
Who's thinking? Zona at the 41-yard line. Tuitama this time. Play fake, rolls out, throws downfield, intercepted. Picked off this time by Kevin Thomas, and that's one that Tuitama would love to have back.
There you see the frustration on the coach. Mike Stoops' face. Tuitama with a movement play, not a very believable fake to Grigsby. Looks like he really underthrew his receiver, Terrell Turner. That's an easy play for Kevin Thomas to make. Just hangs up there and snatches the ball out of the sky. Kevin Thomas played his best game of his career versus Arizona State. He's been having quite a season at cornerback for USC.
Really has. Has stepped into the starting role. Gable now the tailback. Play fake. Roll to the right this time. Sanchez has all day to throw the ball. All day. Directing traffic. Finally throws. A little too tall that time. And paying the price for that pass being tall was Damian Williams. Cat's not getting a big push on Sanchez, and when he rolls out, he generally has had all day to find the receiver.
I also think one of the differences between Tuitama, and really it's become evident to me this year, and Sanchez is not only does Sanchez have better feet, but I think he's got the better arm. Tuitama definitely underthrowing his receiver on that last interception.
2nd down and 10. And that time looked like the right guard.
False start. Offense, 68. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Butch Lewis, the guilty party.
Butch Lewis was one of those Trojans that fell victim to the flu and missed the Washington State game. The flu ran rampant around the USC campus last week. A lot of people sick, and the coaching staff, students, everybody. Not a pretty sight. They used a lot of hand cleaner last week.
Yes, you did. Yeah, you could have done surgery last week. 2nd down, 15. And here's a throw back to Johnson. Johnson cracked as he crosses midfield, but again, a good pickup on the play. Marcus Huntley really stuck him, but not before a gain of 9. So now it'll be 3rd and 6.
Here comes Hundley. He's been very physical in this game. He's got a blocker on his back and still delivers that blow. he's a little shaken up.
Yeah, he is. And now they're going to have to call a timeout here, I believe.
That's a prideful thing for a football player. Even if you're hurt and guys don't want to lay down on the field and stop the game, but Hundley just couldn't help it. He realized that he wasn't going to be able to go and just gets down. Here's Ronald Johnson. That's Blake Ailes, the freshman tight end, on the back of Hundley, and he delivers the blow to Ronald Johnson, and it looks like a shoulder that Johnson went right into.
Johnson's going to come off under his own power. Or rather, Hundley, I beg your pardon, he's going to come off under his own power. Not quite sure what the problem was. It might have been a stinger of some sort. So looking at a third down again. This time a 3rd down and 6. They go with an empty backfield. Sanchez straight back, in trouble, steps up, now he can run, he's got all day. 50, 45, out of bounds, the 42-yard line, 1st down, Trojans.
And Sanchez with the physical hit on Sterling Lewis. Pete Carroll's not going to like that, neither will his offensive coordinator, Steve Sarkisian. They want Sanchez to get down. I think if he slid, he wouldn't have gotten the 1st down, though. You see the mobility of Mark Sanchez. Then he gets hit by Sterling Lewis and sort of runs him over. Certainly excited the USC side.
Yeah, it did. Well, I think your point is well taken, though. Had he have slid, he might not have made the 1st down. As it is, 1st down just short of the 41-yard line of Arizona. Joe McKnight now the tailback. And this is McKnight. And McKnight stopped almost immediately. Pickup of a yard. Turning it in that time was Corey Hall, another Texas product out of DeSoto High School.
Corey Hall went to school with Mike Thomas. Again, Mike Stoops, a master recruiter because of his roots at Oklahoma with his brother Bob. They really do a great job of getting a lot of kids out of Texas to play here in Arizona, and they also have opened up that Hawaiian pipeline, and they do well in Southern California as well.
Well, Corey was telling us 8 players off that DeSoto High School team playing D1 football. And Gable is going to be stopped this time after a pickup of about another yard by Sterling Lewis. So now it'll be 3rd down and long. 3rd and longs have not really bothered USC too much.
When they give Mark Sanchez time, he's been able to find Damian Williams for the most part on 3rd downs to convert him. This is a huge 3rd down for USC, though. They want to extend that lead, and they want to. They don't want to play in a tied ball game in this stadium.
3rd down, they need 7. And they're going to run the football, but not very far. And now it's going to be 4th down. Now, I would again not be surprised to see Pete Carroll go for this here. Ronnie Palmer makes the stop. It'll be 4th down and 9, and they will punt it.
Well, the important thing for the Cats now, Barry, is to calm Willie Tuatama down and find a way to put together a nice offensive drive.
This one is a high kick. It's headed for the end zone, but it's going to hit and bounce backward, take a USC bounce and be down at the 9-yard line. Well, let's check today's Touch of Gray winning touch. And the winning touch took place here in 2000. Remember him? Ortiz Jenkins. Not known as a guy who could throw the football that well, but he threw that one pretty darn well, didn't he? Arizona beats USC. You were there, were you not?
Yeah, I shaved it to 21 or something with a touchdown in this game.
Well, the new Touch of Gray for the generation that swore it would never get old.
Shaved that lead down to 21.
That was good.
It was 28 before.
That's right. Cut 7 points right off.
Shaved it.
So a long way to go for Arizona here as time ticks down in the 3rd quarter. And they give to Grigsby, and Grigsby is stopped before he started. Jarrell Casey, a freshman on a Long Beach Poly. The ball game for USC makes the stop. And that will be likely, in fact it will be, the last play of the 3rd quarter. So Arizona hanging around, but they're going to have to show something on offense here if they're going to get back into this ball game with USC. At the end of 3 quarters, it's the USC Trojans 17 and the Arizona Wildcats 10. We're coming back. It's homecoming night here in Tucson. Arizona will have it when the fourth quarter begins after this. At their own 10-yard line. Tuatama going to throw. He's got time. He throws deep, and that time Thomas turned around. There was a timing problem on that. Thomas broke the rod off, and I don't know who was wrong, but one of them was.
And Arizona just doesn't seem like the same offense with the same kind of explosion without Keola Antolin in the game. Now, sure, they tied it up on a run with Nick Grigsby after the turnover early in the third quarter, but they don't seem to have the same offensive explosion, and we have not seen much from Rob Gronkowski in this second half.
Well, as Mike Stoops told Jim Watson, they've kind of taken him away. Tuatama again will throw, and again, just confusion. Two receivers in the same area, kind of even touched each other, and that was a series to forget for Arizona.
Well, it looks like they were trying to run some kind of pick play, and again, the frustration on the face of Mike Stoops. Maybe they could have got the Trojans for some kind of illegal contact, but whatever happened, there was not a catchable ball thrown. And again, this is a different offense without Keola Antolin. The big play by Taylor Mays knocking him out of the game in the first half.
So Cryer will have to punt. He'll hit this at about his own 2-yard line. Trojans come after it, and Cryer takes a step to his right and gets it away and hits it pretty good. Johnson handles the 36. Now he'll start back the other way. Gets the 40, gets the 45, midfield to the 45, still at his feet, right up the middle inside the 35. Flag down as Johnson goes down at the 31-yard line. Another big return by Johnson, but I think part of it at least is coming back. A 54-yard punt and a 34-yard return. They're going to drop the flag at about the 36-yard line, so this is going to go back somewhere around midfield.
During the return, personal foul, face mask on the return team, number 5.
Wow.
The
Don't see that very
15-yard penalty
often.
from the spot of the foul, first down.
It's on Reggie Bush.
Yeah, that's right. What a reach.
The Trojans don't have a number 5 on their roster because Reggie Bush's number is retired since he won the Heisman Trophy. Or not officially retired, but they certainly haven't given it to anybody, just like you don't see a number 12 running around out there. That would be Charles White.
That's right.
Or a number 20, that would be Mike Garrett.
So they'll start at their own 48-yard line. Nonetheless, good field position for USC. Joe McKnight is the tailback. And here is McKnight trying to take it outside. Forget about it. Drop for a loss of a yard by Xavier Kelly, first man to him. Had a lot of help.
Well, USC has had a couple opportunities here, Barry, to put the Cats away with these drives. Looks like Kelly's a little shaken up there.
Their defense has been pretty dinged. McCovey hasn't been in the ballgame since early in the game. Now Kelly is nicked up. Ness is nicked up. Hundley's nicked up. Devin Ross is nicked up. Now McCovey's back in the ballgame.
Seems to me that Stephon Johnson should be left in the football game, and he's back in now.
2nd and 11. Sanchez going to put it up. Again, no pressure on it. Now the pressure comes late. Pass over the middle and a catch made by McCoy and a first down at the 33-yard line. And they are just not able to get to Sanchez. You got to give credit to the O-line of the USC Trojans. Playing big.
Well, like you said, I really think they are wearing down and beating up this Arizona defense, who has played valiantly throughout this football game, but just so strong. You see the double team there on Earl Mitchell. He's got no shot, and Sanchez able to dump it off again to his tight end. Mark Sanchez, very patient in this second half, finding a lot of his outlet routes. And on the other side of the field, I really think that the USC defense is starting to beat up on the Arizona offense and tire them out.
Sanchez drops the snap from center, picks it up, throws it, and the catch is made by Havili, who stays on his feet and will get it down inside the 25-yard line. Well, Havili having a big game here. Havili, 5 catches, 67 yards, including the touchdown catch from 31 yards out. I'll mark this just inside the 25-yard line.
Looked like Havili stepped out a little earlier, but the refs gave it to him. The big fullback, incidentally, showing a lot of body control on that sideline again.
Trojans will call the timeout once again. They will have 1 timeout remaining here. We'll take a timeout as well. 12:56 remaining here in the third quarter, and the Trojans starting to have their way.
Blitz, launching Nate Ness into the air, really made that play happen.
Second short, so a free play here really for Sanchez. Sanchez going to go for it all. Goes to the end zone, incomplete. Intended for his tight end, McCoy.
You see McCoy smiling. Anthony McCoy's a guy that can do some good things in the passing game. We talked about the very nice touchdown he had against Washington State. That may be a little bit too tall of an order for what is primarily a blocking tight end at USC. You know, Sanchez really went through the motions last week in Pullman. It was kind of like a scrimmage for him. I don't think he got touched once. But this is a quality in-conference performance he's having right now on the road. He lost at Oregon and Oregon State in his other tough road starts.
Sanchez, this time on a keeper, will get the first down to about the 21-yard line. He's a load. I mean, Mark Sanchez is a big guy, 6'3", 225. Made that easily. Now another injured Wildcat as Ronnie Palmer gets up a little gimpy. Peloto coming out of the ball game as well. I don't think he's shaken up. I just think that's an alignment change. Tuialamaka will come on, replacing Palmer. So a first down at the 22-yard line. Reverse to Williams. Williams at the 20, trying to take it outside, and he won't be able to get there. He is run down after a gain of about 5 by Cam Nelson. Still positive yardage on first down.
Well, it looks now like the USC offense has started to take control of this football game behind their quarterback, Mark Sanchez, who has settled down considerably from where he started the game, missing some passes in the first quarter.
He's 18 of 30 now for 193 yards. Second down and 5. And they give to Johnson. And Johnson trying to run right over people. Ran over Cam Nelson, but Nelson slowed him enough to at least stop him short of the first down, but only by about a half yard. So it'll be third down and short.
What you're seeing now is this USC offensive line really imposed their will on a tough Arizona front seven, but this SC offensive line, led by Christopher O'Dowd, who grew up just down the road here in Tucson, Arizona, just a sophomore, but a great leader at center. They're doing a great job starting to push the Cats off the ball.
He's got about 70 people here in the crowd tonight. This time the fullback, Havili, will get the first down. We'll go to the sideline. Might have been a procedure call on that play. We'll go to the sideline. Jim Watson. Waddy.
You guys talked about Christopher O'Dowd. A pretty good homecoming for the kid, as you mentioned. He played high school ball here, and he's still a favored son. In fact, both of his parents are U of A grads, Jeannie and Charlie. And his granddad, Jack, was a center for the University of Arizona way back in the 30s. And Chris said that was the biggest thrill, coming here to play on the same field that his grandfather had played on. And Barry, you're right. 70 members of the O'Dowd clan are all here. They're all Wildcats, but they're wearing cardinal and gold. So I guess, guys, even in the desert, blood is more valuable than water.
There you are. There was a procedure penalty against USC. There's a shovel pass this time. And cracked just as he got a full head of steam was Stephon Johnson by Sterling Lewis.
Big tackle by Sterling Lewis. And you saw Ronnie Palmer in there, both linebackers for the Cats, slow to get up. Stephon Johnson very unhappy, just faked like he was going to block, and then takes off. But a textbook big tackle by Sterling Lewis, and now SC is going to try the field goal.
30-yarder by Beeler. He hasn't missed a field goal this year. And it is on its way, and he's now missed a field goal. So after all of that, the Cats find themselves just 7 points down with plenty of time, 10:35. What they are going to have to do, though, is find an offense that's been MIA so far in the second half. Just missed it. Just that simple.
Certainly has enough leg. Beeler, one of the strongest legged USC kickers I've ever seen. You can see he's very unhappy.
So 80 yards away from tying the game of the Arizona Wildcats. And here's Turner on a reverse. And Turner will get about 4 to about the 24-yard line. USC just kind of doing what USC does. They came in here, of course, leading the nation in scoring defense, 7.8. They've given up 10 so far tonight. They lead the nation in pass defense, an average of 136 yards per game. Tonight they've given up 80 yards passing. And Tuatama, incidentally, only 1 completion in the second half.
And even though USC appears to be clearly outplaying the Cats right now, you got to remember conference games are tougher, especially road conference games.
So it's all there for the Cats. Here comes a blitz, and they run away from it. Grigsby pops it to the outside, stays on his feet, still on his feet as he gets to midfield. What a run by Grigsby. Gain of 26, and it brings the crowd right back into it.
Very physical run by a little tailback, the Whittier Wiz out of Whittier, California. Really running over a lot of these USC players. Nick Grigsby with the nice hole, but the rest is all him. That's a very big safety, and Taylor Mazie runs right through him, runs right through Matthews, carries Maualuga along. What a great run by Grigsby, and that gets the crowd back into it. The Cats have a shot.
Cross midfield at the 49-yard line. Longest play of the night for the Arizona Wildcats. Play fake this time. Tuatama will throw in trouble, and he is smacked. Clay Matthews was just right on him. A big loss on the play. 3rd sack for the Trojans.
Well, way back at the opening of this game, we talked about Clay Matthews and how he's been harassing quarterbacks all year. He plays that elephant position, which is kind of a defensive end, but kind of a strong side linebacker. He just runs a twist and comes flying unblocked down the middle, and looks like he tries to take the head off of Tuatama.
Give you another couple of numbers. USC's defense averages 8.5 tackles for a loss per game. That's number 4 in the nation. That sack was their 7th tackle for a loss in this game, so they're right on pace. Grigsby, again, nothing doing. It's absolutely nothing. Jarrell Casey, the freshman who's getting a lot of minutes tonight, makes another play. He's made a few. First down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Overstock.com's prices are so low, you can afford to buy something for your friends, too. Overstock.com, at home.
With the O.
Buy something for you.
You could.
It says, my friends.
You know, the holiday season is coming soon.
Third down, a whole bunch. Sonny Dykes going to have to dig deep into the playbook here. Late blitz comes. Tuatama in trouble. Rolls away from it. Now he throws it away. Tuatama had no chance that time.
Well, what was once a very promising drive for the Cats with the long run by Grigsby, taking it past the 50-yard line, turns into a very frustrating experience for Mike Stoops because of the sack. Clay Matthews flying back, of course, the son of the great Clay Matthews. Got his brother Casey up at Oregon. I played at USC with the older brother Kyle. All of them very proud of that big sack.
Pryor's kick, line drive kick, and a fair catch called by Johnson at the 10-yard line. Johnson might have had a chance to return that. 46-yard punt, no return. USC will have it at their own 10-yard line when we come back. McCovey on first down. Big play right there as Mike Stoops has to turn to his defense to do the job because his offense has just been dead in the water.
The onus is once again on the Cats, and the second that the Cats had a little bit of positivity on offense, the USC defense recovered immediately with that big sack by Clay Matthews. Here now, deep in the Cats' territory, Mark Sanchez and the USC offense can afford no mistakes, no exchange problems, no penalties, nothing.
Ball back at the 6-yard line. Second down and 14. Short drop this time for Sanchez. Throws in a great catch by Williams and a great throw by Sanchez. He'll still be short of the first down, but nonetheless, excellent pitch and catch.
Well, Mark Sanchez just on the 3-step drop again. Wonderful cut block by Stephon Johnson on the outside. He's just had a great game. Xavier Kelly ends up making the stop on Damian Williams, but not before a nice gain. Here's third and short.
Big play right here, really, for both teams. Sanchez going to throw. Pump fake, in trouble, and he is dropped, throws it away. And there's going to be no grounding on that, which is really hard to believe.
Mike Stoops is almost all the way out on the field and being pulled back again. That looked a lot like grounding to me.
Oh, it sure did. Here's a look. See what you think. With the pump fake in the grasp of Brooks Reed. And a high kick, pretty good kick this time. And Thomas can't handle it as it goes out of bounds. And now again, it falls to the offense. A 45-yard punt by Wozniak and no return. Tuitama just has not been able to get it done. 12 of 25, 80 yards. The last 2 games he's played against USC, 44 of 60 for 403 yards. Short drop this time. He's going to air it out for Turner, and he can't quite get to it.
That time, Terrell Turner making his adjustment a little late to the football. Tuitama wanted him further outside, and Turner couldn't do it.
Frustration showing on the face of Mike Stoops. Last 5 home games against the top 25 teams. Only the loss to USC mars an otherwise perfect record.
Well, Barry, around campus, they call him Willie Heisman. If he wants to live up to that name, he's going to have to drive this team for a touchdown right now. They need him more than ever.
Out of the gun once again, Grigsby is the running back alongside him. 4-man rush. Tuitama steps up, throws underneath, almost hit the umpire. Turner was the intended receiver, but definitely a miscommunication there, and there's been much too much of that so far as Arizona's concerned.
To be honest, this looks like the Cats' offense of when Mike Stoops first came here. The defense played well, gave the offense countless opportunities, and they just couldn't capitalize, and that's what plagued Coach Stoops in his early career here at the University of Arizona. They really had a lot of teams cornered, like Wisconsin and Utah, and couldn't pull it out. Right now, the offense is not holding up their end of the bargain against a powerful USC football team.
So 3rd down and 10, another big play. 4-man rush for USC. Screen pass to Turner. Turner is going to be close. I don't know. It will depend on where they spot this football. And I think it may be a little short. I think they would have to go regardless, but see what you think.
Nice inside screen play. Kerry Harris eventually makes the stop. Maybe not enough of a lean from Turner, but a little bit of a lack of awareness as far as where the sticks were. He could have really stretched his body out and got it.
Maybe he did. Oh, no, he didn't. It is that close. And I would have to think that they will go. And Mike Stoops.
He's fun to watch, isn't he?
He really is. He's just beside himself. He feels like he can't catch a break.
And his brother, defensive coordinator Mark Stoops, of course, their brother Bob, the coach at Oklahoma, just kind of follows Mike around and pulls him off the field 2 or 3 times a quarter.
So 4th down and really the ball game. Tuitama going to try to take it himself. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. At least not where the linesman is.
Willie Tuatama is not a muscular quarterback. He is not a guy that looks like he's got a lot of push in his body, and certainly didn't look like it there. Trying to go up against Philly Mawala behind Colin Baxter is not an easy thing to do, to run that quarterback sneak. Arizona just doesn't strike me as a quarterback sneak team, but they don't have a big back to push the pile either.
Well, they're going to measure this, but I don't know.
He may have lost yardage.
Might have. Nope, didn't get it. And they were only 1 of 8 in 4th down attempts.
You're going to run a quarterback sneak. They were at the line for a very long time, and there you see USC, Luka Mayava, Philly Mawala. All of them getting a great push there. Jarrell Casey, who you were talking about, Barry, who's having a big game. Just a freshman out of Long Beach Poly in Southern California. All of them with a great push and really just stifling that Arizona offense. Where were the stars for the Arizona offense on that drive? Where was Gronkowski? Where was Mike Thomas?
We're going to get a timeout here. I would assume that it's Arizona calling the timeout. They're going to review the play, so there won't be an official timeout, just a momentary stoppage.
Well, Tuitama just getting no push, and there he's standing up straight. And any football man will tell you, from Pop Warner football, youth football, all the way to the NFL, if you're standing up straight, that's not the right football position to be in.
You're not in good shape.
You're going down, and you certainly aren't going to get any push. And we just got a great look at the strength of that USC defense.
Actually, I think he got as generous a spot as he could have had. I'm not even sure he got to where they spotted the ball. So they will discuss this, but I truly can't see this one changing. But I've been wrong most of the games. Jay Strickert says the referee.
Well, if they said Stephon Johnson had a touchdown early in the game, who knows?
Field is confirmed. USC ball, 1st down and 10.
There you go.
All right. So Willie Tuatama gonna look it on, saying, boy, maybe not tonight. Willie's dad, Pete Carroll, had a long-time relationship with UOP guys. Played volleyball together.
Yeah, they had a 2-man beach volleyball team. I think Pete Carroll's competitive.
Play fake this time. Sanchez going to throw. Throws deep and unable to hang on to the sideline.
The Trojan coach is upset with Mark Sanchez on the sideline, saying, go underneath, get that ball to Stanley Havili. But Sanchez once again going for the bigger throw, trying to get Damian Williams. That's happened a couple times in this football game. Sanchez has a run for a 1st down or has a guy underneath for a good gain and tries to go for more, getting a little bit greedy and trying to go deep. Not a bad throw to Williams there. He kind of dropped it, but still a bad decision by Mark Sanchez.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. Give to Johnson.
Has a guy underneath for a good gain and tries to go for more, getting a little bit greedy and trying to go deep. Not a bad throw to Williams there. He kind of dropped it, but still a bad decision by Mark Sanchez.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. Give to Johnson. Johnson hurdles the first man and stretches ahead to about the 41-yard line. Xavier Kelly makes the stop, but a gain of about 6. Carries, 64 yards for Johnson. Also had the big punt return, a couple of big punt returns actually, and made a key block on the biggest play of the game.
He's been great in this game.
Sanchez straight back, and this time he is crushed back at midfield by Sterling Lewis. Lewis just blew in untouched.
Great blitz by Sterling Lewis. And you got to wonder, with Stephon Johnson performing the way he has performed in this football game, why not just carry him and get him to run out the clock? Now you give Arizona another chance with the football. Sterling Lewis, who's been a great performer all year, flying in and making the sack.
High snap that time, but Arizona did not have the rush on, and This will go into the end zone, a 48-yard punt, but it'll come out to the 20-yard line. So once again, Arizona will have an opportunity. We've been talking about everything that USC is doing well and Arizona's not doing well. And with all of that, it's a 7-point ball game.
They still have a chance, and I tell you what, Arizona's offense would have a much better chance if they had their true freshman running back, Keola Antolin, in the football game. He was hit so hard in the head by Taylor Mays, knocked out of the football game earlier in the first half. Here you see Antolin taking off on a very strong run. There's Taylor Mays, number 2. And you see this hit, tell me if you'd come back into the football game.
Well, he wanted to. He was pleading his case, as Jim Watson said. Here's a give to Grigsby. Grigsby pops it and gets it up to the 35 and was a step away from taking that to the house.
Taylor Mays, once again, just getting enough of Nick Grigsby. Here's a little explosion from Nick Grigsby, the starter in this football game. Was twisting through the air. Looks like he got hurt a little bit there, but they need him desperately to stay in this game, and they need Tuatama to make some throws.
67 yards rushing for Grigsby in the game. Here's Grigsby again. Not this time. Got about 2. Ray Maualuga there. Make sure he didn't get any more than 2. 2nd and 8. Last year, Grigsby ran for only 10 yards against this USC team.
That was a very different football game last year, and this was a different Arizona offense. They have a much better grasp on what they're doing under Sonny Dykes. And it was Mark Sanchez's first start a year ago, and they really didn't let him go downfield. That was a strange game.
They go with an empty backfield this time. A quick toss to Thomas. Forget about it. That play was telegraphed. You could see it coming from where we sit.
They want to get the ball out on the perimeter to Thomas, but there's got to be a better way to involve the stars on this Arizona offense. Brian Cushing and Will Harris flying up to make a nice play. And another 3rd long for Tuatama. And with the way he's been playing in this second half, you have to shrug your shoulders and say, I don't really know if they got a great shot. They're taking Gronkowski out the game.
USC has managed to take him out of the game most of the night. So they go with 4 wideouts. Last time USC came with a late blitz. See what they do this time. They don't. They come with a 3-man rush and a screen, and that's just not going to happen. USC had that defense perfectly. Kyle Moore, Ray Maualuga make the stop. That play had no chance from the get-go.
The Cats are kind of in no man's land at this point. Looks like they're going to punt the football, but only about 3:17 and counting left. There's the inside screen they're trying to run. USC all bunched up at the line of scrimmage. Defense looking strong.
Tuatama 2 of 10 for 8 yards in the second half. This is going to hit and be down at about the 1-yard line, maybe the 2-yard line. Good job that time by Arizona. So again, they will pin the Trojans back, but they just haven't been able to do anything with it.
Well, offensively, the Cats have absolutely struggled. Let's see what happened here. Could have been a touchback. He's got the football in his hand. Looks like he might have been getting rid of it just at that moment. Very close play down there on the goal line.
They mark it at the 3-yard line.
Now, Barry, in last year's Stanford loss, the USC coaches were nursing a 6-point lead and kept calling pass plays in the 4th quarter, and it eventually burned them. Let's see what they do coming out of their own end zone.
Well, they give it this time straight ahead and getting good yardage that time. Again, Johnson, ball's loose. It's picked up by one of the Trojans, and he's going to get it ahead all the way to the 38-yard line. Well, when it goes bad for a team, it goes all bad. Anthony McCoy picked up a loose football. 36-yard play.
Well, the Trojans could not afford that mistake. A fumble way down inside their own 20. A nice run by Johnson. May have been down, but I think that ball was out and just falls right into the arms of Anthony McCoy.
I think they're going to look at this. And I wouldn't be surprised if this comes back to the point of the fumble. So this will be looked at upstairs.
Officials timeout. The ruling on the field is under review.
In the meantime, Sterling Lewis has helped off. Been a physical football game.
The USC offensive line has really gotten to the legs of the Arizona front seven, and that's why there's so many of these linebackers beat up. You know, there's so many bodies in there, it's hard to tell where the ball came out. The ball definitely came out. Stephon Johnson churning his legs. Yeah.
Can't really tell from that.
Very tough to see.
See what it looks like from this angle. Here he is coming at you. Now the ball's not out yet. And still can't tell.
It's Marquise Hundley that stripped it.
There the ball comes out. Was he already down is the question.
Anthony McCoy has been Johnny on the spot in the last couple weeks for the Trojans, making all kinds of plays with a football.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. USC ball, first down and 10.
Well, that one, it has to be without question, and that one was not without question.
And there was no way they could overturn that call because there was no way to see, because of all the bodies in there, where the ball came out.
So a 23-yard run on the end of that original game by Stephon Johnson. This time Sanchez going to throw, and he does throw, throws underneath to Havili, and Havili's popped out of bounds, and a late flag comes in. Now we'll see what this is all about.
Well, the hat of the official came off.
Well, if the hat of the official came off, it means the player was out of bounds before he came back in. Let's see.
Illegal touching on the play. On the offense, number 31 went out of bounds on his own, returned inbounds and caught the ball. This violation results in a loss of down at the previous spot. Down will be 2.
Well explained, I believe, by Jay Streichertz.
Well, Havili's been living on that sideline as an outlet this entire game, and he's really been towing the line with that big body of his. That time, they catch him.
So it'll be 2nd and 10, 2:23 remaining in the football game. Arizona still has its full complement of timeouts. They're going to have to start to take them pretty soon. Give to the fullback, Havili, and Havili, carrying people with him, will be stopped about a yard short of the first down. It'll be 3rd down.
Nate Ness getting carried that time by Stanley Havili. Stanley Havili, roommates with Mark Sanchez. These guys know each other pretty well, and they've certainly hooked up a whole bunch in this football game.
And now Arizona's called its first timeout. Just under 2 minutes remaining, but Arizona's offense has been dead in the water this whole half. They did score, but the score was handed to them after a fumble to start the second half, so they only had a 15-yard field when they did score. Well, the big news this week, even though this game, of course, was on everyone's lips, was the retirement of this man right here, Lute Olson, a guy who I had a chance to spend an awful lot of time with over the years, and I think one of the great coaches ever, really, in college basketball, and a real gentleman. Lute Olson always used to kid him about, I'd vote for him. Just look at him. Wouldn't you vote for him?
Very presidential, especially with that blazer on and the red tie.
Well, he leaves with a national championship, 4 Final Four appearances. His team has gone into the NCAA tournament 24 consecutive times, and 327 wins in the Pac-10, 780 in his career. He will be missed.
He built Arizona's basketball team from nothing.
They did. 3rd down short. Havili again, 1st down to the 46-yard line of Arizona. Gain of 6 for Havili, and your point is well taken, P. I mean, they're just knocking the Cats back off the ball right now.
Stanley Havili's been great in this football game, as has Stephon Johnson. Those two backs, fullback and tailback for USC. Kind of old school to watch USC do it with a fullback and a tailback. But a very strong showing by both those players today, grinding it out when they had the opportunity to grind it out. It seemed to me that Steve Sarkisian, USC's offensive coordinator, maybe a little bit too much attention to balance in this football game. USC seemed to have a good thing going with the run game all night.
I doubt they will put it up again here. Give this time to Johnson again. He reverses his field. Now he's got a little room. He cuts it back and takes it close to the 40-yard line. Almost fumbled the football. But a pickup of 5. Earl Mitchell, Cam Nelson on the tackle for Arizona, and now the Cats will use their second timeout. Well, right now, let's take a look at our Pontiac Pac-10 game-changing performance for the USC Trojans. Willie Tuatama trying to get the first down on the 4th down. Not going to happen, as the push of the Trojans greater than the push of the Arizona Wildcats. And that really solidified the deal here for the USC Trojans. For being named today's Pontiac Pac-10 game-changing performance, Pontiac will award USC $1,000 to its General Scholarship Fund. Pontiac, official performance machines of the Pac-10. And here's a guy who dearly wishes that he could be involved in things. Keola Antolin played great while he was in the ball game, coming off a great game of almost 150 yards last week against California, but he got dinged. And the medics and the coaches said, not going to take a chance, not going to put you back in there, even though he wanted to. So Arizona has 1 timeout remaining. USC looking at a 2nd and 5. And again, it's Johnson, and Johnson gets a little gap once more. He's going to still be short of the first down. Cats will burn their last time out here. And it'll be 3rd down and about 3.
Now, barring some kind of change of fortune in this football game and an awakening by the Arizona offense, USC should go on to win the game. They never trailed in this game, and they'll learn to stay sharp from this experience. Next week, the Trojans get a winless Washington team. Try to find out whose bubble's going to be bursting and who's going to keep going and what SC's going to be doing. Are they going to be in the Holiday Bowl? Are they going to be in the Rose Bowl? Are they going to be in the championship game? Are they going to be an at-large bid if Oregon State wins out? Because right now, Arizona and Oregon State were the only 2 teams in the Pac-10 that really controlled their own destiny to the Rose Bowl.
That's right. Give once more to Johnson. Not going to get the first down. It's going to be 4th down. And USC will still be able to use 40 seconds or so of the clock. So it's not going to leave anything but a miracle for the Arizona Wildcats. There's another cat down. It is Ricky Elmore, and they have really been beaten up defensively. Clock, meanwhile, at 50 seconds. Elmore will be tended to. Boy, at one time or another, there have probably been 8 defensive players for the Wildcats who've been down. Elmore, Covey missed some time. Palmer got hurt. Lewis got hurt. Kelly got hurt. Hundley got nicked. Nate Ness got nicked.
Yeah, it really seemed like this USC offensive line and Stephon Johnson and Stanley Avili, they got very physical with this Arizona front 7. And this Arizona front 7, you got to give them a lot of credit. I mean, these guys played really hard. There's Nate Ness sitting on the bench. These guys played a very tough ball game and played very physically and did really what they had to do to put their offense in a great position to tie or win this football game.
Well, the offense in the second half, Pete, 221 yards for USC, 51 for Arizona. It's just what the Trojans have been doing all year long.
And that's the big question for Arizona fans. What happened to Willie Tuatama in the second half? Where was Willie Tuatama? Here's your senior. Here's your leader. Here's the guy that the ball's in his hands. He's got to take it down and score that touchdown and find a way to make it happen. Where's Gronkowski? Where's Thomas? None of these guys stepped up and made any big plays in the second half. SC really got to the legs of that front 7. They really did.
This is a good football team. We've been saying that all along. I truly believe. I thought they were the best team in the country at the end of last year, and I think they're better this year. Big hiccup, though, in Corvallis. So they will let this clock wind down and let it wind all the way down. There's only going to be about 9 seconds left for Arizona. They will not snap this. They'll just take the penalty. And now it ticks down to exactly 9 seconds. Now they'll take the 5-yard penalty. Willie Tuatama is going to get one last desperate shot. And for Mike Stoops, he's got a good team here. As he indicated, he just ran into a better team tonight.
I think this Arizona team has gotten over the hump. They have 5 victories. They're going to go to a bowl game this year. And that was really what was plaguing Stoops, not being able to get to a bowl game yet in his career at Arizona. I think they'll get there this year.
End-over-end kick is going to be picked up by Thomas, so he better go all the way. And it is going to happen now. He purposely fumbles the football. It's picked up by Turner. And now a little bit of room. Flag is down now, and I think this may all be for naught. And it's not going to matter anyway as he's dragged down at about the 31-yard line. So a little bit of excitement, but there will be a penalty, which USC will refuse. And it was Derek Markham who picked up that loose ball. Discussion will go on here. It won't matter. Time has run out. Penalty will be refused if it is against the Cats.
During the return, sideline interference on the defense. This is a dead ball foul. The game is over. By rule, that penalty is enforced as a dead ball foul. The clock ran out before the game is over.
So the game is over, and it ended not really with a whisper, actually. What would have happened if he took that ball all the way?
We might have had a new play in the Pac-10 to talk about for years and years on end.
Mark Sanchez, truly the leader of this USC offensive team. His roommate stepped up big tonight. Sanchez finishing 21 of 35, 216 yards, and an all-around effort. But I think you really have to talk more than anything else, P, about the USC defense. I mean, they did tonight what they've been doing all year long.
They really beat up on Arizona, did a great job of just handling Willie Tuatama. That big hit, I think, took a lot out of Willie Tuatama from Clay Matthews flying into the backfield and putting it right on the head of Willie Tuatama. I think that took a lot out of him. SC defense is great. I think the offense still lacks a little bit of identity.
All right, let's go down to the field. Jim Watson is with Pete Carroll. Waddy.
Pete, considering the conditions and the magnitude, a lot of things going against you guys, you have to be pleased with the grit that your team showed on the road.
Yeah, I really am. This was a tough football game. They're a good team and all. I think it was, we're fortunate to get the win, but there were a lot of things that could have happened. Yeah. The thing I loved is the way the defense played again. Man, they just are so tough, and they just will not give in, in any time, any situation. So I love these guys, the way they're playing. Really, really grateful to get out of here with a win, get to go back to the Coliseum.
Pete, defensively, you guys trying to take away Thomas and Gronkowski because we didn't hear from them all night.
Yeah, Kevin Ellison did a fantastic job in the area, and Cush. Those two guys were all over it. They had a lot of assignments where they were right on him. We thought he was a great football player. We're happy to get out of there like that.
Offensive side of the ball, the line was tremendous all night long. Stephon Johnson did everything, punt returns, blocking, everything. Yeah, and I thought Sanchez was good, but not great tonight.
Yeah, Mark could be better. He a couple things here at the end. We should have made some first downs and made it easier on us than we did. But he still played a good football game, and we're moving. We're still moving. I like it. We're moving.
The good news is you win. The bad news is we're gonna do you again next week. You got to talk to us again.
That's okay. Big Petros up there. That's got to be a win-win.
Appreciate the time, Pete. Congratulations. By the way, Petros and Barry. Hey, SC's bowl eligible, huh?
Yeah, they might make it to a bowl game this year. That'd be a good thing, I suppose, for them. Hadn't happened in a long time. It's a good football team, and they beat a good football team today. And in the second half, they not only beat them, they beat them up. We're coming back.